Okay, I think it's live. If anyone is tuning in this early, cool. We're gonna start in like 20-ish minutes. You can all just chill until then. Doing check-in at the moment, so.
If you have a positively lightning fast response time to seeing a Twitch notification pop up.
Yeah. Get everyone's parsec set up. Or I guess hopefully everyone set up their parsec ahead of time. You know, that would be ideal.
I would assume my parsec is still set up. I don't know what else I need to set up necessarily.
No, I don't. I mean, you just need to make sure it's installed, I think.
Yeah. Anytime technology thing is involved, I get scared.
Yeah. Parsec is definitely a, it works most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting on. Yeah, we're just waiting on 2 people, I think.
Cool.
Dr. Science and Sugar Badger are on the same account. So we've got 6 people from bracket. After a few dropouts. But still pretty decent sized bracket.
Did you tweet out link at all?
I tweeted out the link a little bit ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go find it then.
Cool, got the RT bot, RT.
Oh, hell yeah.
If anyone's tuning in, not aware of Flick Club, it is a puzzle game. You could go onto horncore. Well, okay, you can Google Flick Club and you'll find the itch link.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
I don't. It just searches a little wonky for some. Like, I can never find anything if I know its exact name. I can only find things by like searching through genre tags.
Wonderful little platform.
It is a great platform, honestly.
It's doing its best.
It's just the search is a little. I don't know. I don't understand how the search is supposed to function. But maybe it's working as intended, but I'm too stupid to use it. But you can go onto the itch page for Flick Club, and you can play it in browser if you want. You don't even have to download it. You can check it out. It's a cool puzzle game. Has some similarities to Yoshi's Cookie, classic game of the genre if you've played it. But it also has a number of differences that make it play ultimately pretty different. It's a lot faster, and it's less random, and all of the special moves are different, and etc. etc.
I'm trying to make a graphic, and font that looks like the best for what I need to do is one of the fonts I use for work, and it just feels weird. It's Saturday. I don't use these fonts on Saturdays. I use them Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Do you have the correct license for this font?
So, thankfully, this one's like a really generic one.
Okay.
It's like their tertiary font.
There's a font that I use for a lot of stuff that I like because it is it is called Crime Fighter.
Hey.
I use it if I'm making anything that's like comics related. It's a comic book lettering font. But I like it, and I wanted to use it on my game. But the license for it, it's free to use if you're making comics, but not if you're using it for anything else. It's like a special indie comics like helpful thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just buy it anyway, but couldn't justify the expense. Used a different one that I also like, but it's not as, it stings a little bit.
What could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Blambot.
I'm just gonna take a moment to poop on Palatino Linotype. Kerning in this font is dire.
Oh my god, oh no, it wasn't for the well, I did have to mess with the kerning for the logo for this event, but not because the kerning by default was bad. Those Digimon playmats that I made, I had to mess with the kerning on like half of all the letters because it was by default horrible. Whatever font it was I used.
I have the word awake in Palatino Linotype right now, and I'm pretty sure either side of the W I could drive a 747 through. It's just shit so bad. There's definitely a gigantic piece of dimensional lettering on one of the exterior soffits at the hospital I work at. that the kerning was not addressed before they made these massive letters and stuck them on top of a very important building. And every time I see it, I'm like, man, I'm so glad this is my job now. Alright, time to put the chips away so there's no more like munching noises during tournament.
Yeah, we still have. Oh, okay. Boats and Joes. Just checked in.
Nice.
Still waiting on Hayats. Okay. Alright, we're about 10 minutes out.
Nice. Excited. Can't wait for this.
I believe we're gonna run the Idolism J versus Sugar Badger match first.
Okay. And I will need a hop off broadcast for that, correct?
Yeah, or I can keep you
Mm-hmm.
when the time comes.
Okay, simple enough.
Yeah, everyone get ready for some intense flick action.
There we go.
Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay.
And I'm on Y2K, baby.
You were able to check your buttons.
I was able to go in and change my buttons to Y2K, and the act of doing that should confirm my buttons, I think.
Yeah, you'll have to set the when you go to versus mode, you'll set them anyway.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure you have like control of menu and stuff. More so.
Yep, I got all that stuff. There we go.
Okay. Do not start yet. Hold on. First,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. So if you need to say anything via text. Oh wait, that muted me. What's the deafen? Okay. All right. So we are starting momentarily. And just get these sides set up. We got Sugar Badger on P1 side and Idolism J on P2 side. All right. And anyone watching in stream chat, let me know if the audio is funky or too low or I'm too high or anything like that. All right, players are good to start when they are ready. it looks like my stream scene might be a little... cut off, but I think it's got all the correct action when we get in. All right, it looks like they figured things out. Or... Okay, yeah. Alright, looks like maybe some parsec issues. We'll sort these out. Apologies for the slight false start. Okay, looks like they fixed it. Although, hold on. I guess they're playing it out. Hold on. Well, we'll find out. Well, okay. We've got Zedamir's going on. Character choice. The different characters do a lot of different things. Zeta is kind of like the middle ground character, even on all of the stats. The main real important stat is the special stat, which affects how much, like how good every special is. So it'll be how long any special lasts, and it'll be how much damage things like a hammer do, and things like a bandage heal. And the way that the characters work out is such that if any character has like a lower special, they end up with larger like offense and defense to compensate, and it all kind of like evens itself out. So you can tell how relatively strong a character will be by looking at their special stat, both in terms of how strong their specials will be, and then how strong their other stats will be just by comparison. Yeah, they are just playing it out. Okay. So in that case, we got Idolism. Jay is on game point, game round. That special that Jay just did, that you can see the effects on Sugar Badger's side, is the feather. What the feather does is it randomizes all of the non-coin pieces on your opponent's board, or whoever it affects. You can see on each card, there's circles on some and X's on others. X's means that it does something bad to you, and circles mean that it does something good to you or bad to your opponent. So, for example, that bandage had a circle around it, so it healed Honey Badger, or Sugar Badger. And now Sugar Badger looks like is set up for a hammer on Idolizm J, and that is gonna give like a huge life lead to Sugar Badger. So it's gonna be really hard for Jay to come back from this. I'm gonna need to, like, I don't know, you need to get bandages and hammers to even up the life deficit there, but there's just too much and not enough coins on board. Coins show up anytime that you make a clear, so making one clear generates 1 coin, and then the more clears you make after that, you'll get more coins. So if you do like a chain that has 3 clears total in it, it's like a 3 chain, you'll get 3 coins. Chains also deal more damage. So from a damage perspective, it's better to do chains. Like a 2 chain will do about like half a line more than just doing 2 clears. So that adds up as you do more and more. But it's faster to make 1 chain. So even though you're doing less damage, you're getting more coins on board relative to the damage you're doing. So there is a strategic reason to choose to go for more 1 chains as opposed to more 2 chains. And Sugar Badger here is really evening things up after the early round loss. It is still more or less anyone's game. It looks like Jay was trying to find a way to switch the color and then immediately combo into the coins. Call that a bump spike. If you notice, every time either player makes a chain, it changes the color to whatever color of chain that they made. So if they make a match with hearts, it'll change it to blue. Heptagons changes it to black. Diamonds changes it to pink, etc. If you do one of those and then you have 4 coins set up, that will cause the coins to clear as like a chain, as a combo, immediately after you've already changed the color. And so you can do that in order to like set up the specific card that you want to go off. You can also line it up so that and it's very hard for your opponent to interrupt. There's a brief window. If they're paying attention, they can do it, but if they're paying attention, they're probably playing slow. So there is a window, but it's hard. If you make 2 chains that happen simultaneously with one of them being coins, you can arrange that such that you guarantee the special that you want, but that's a little bit more difficult to set up. So you might not always see players be able to, or go for something like that, because that's a 3 chain. Well, it's not a 3 chain minimum, but the easiest way to set that up is via a 3 chain. And doing it with only a 2 chain would require 5 coins as opposed to 4. Really nice cards for Sugar Badger, but unfortunately, Idolizm J this game has been going pretty hard, and it looks like it might be over. Yeah, just kind of jammed on coins at the end, which is a thing that happens if you're not taking advantage of them, as quickly as you can. You'll end up with
I'm seeing double! 4 cuties!
Okay. I think slight confusion about how many games have been played just because of the technical difficulty. Yeah, we've got Idolizm J up a round. So let's push it out. Okay. So now looking at, yeah. So a blind. So blind cuts off the middle portion of the screen, and it cuts off for like a fairly decent amount of time with Zeta, and that can really slow you down, make it hard to figure out what's going on, especially if you have a lot of coins on board, as Sugar Badger did. You get put in the situation where you really don't want to hold on to them for too long, because having too many coins on your board just leads you into situations where you don't have a good way to get rid of them, and you might end up, whammying yourself trying to clear them out and get space that you can work with.
KO. Let's go.
But a nice
Up to the
clean
next
finish from Sugar Badger, taking the first round this time. Going for, oh, okay. I thought maybe trying to go for a 2-chain, but Sugar Badger looks to just be trying to mostly stick to getting 1-chains quickly, getting those coins on board, and then cashing those in for some damage or some healing. And good card set there. I think Jay was looking to try and jam that up, but couldn't find the last spade needed to transition to a bad color. And this is again like a pretty good card set for Sugar Badger. So there's a lot of options here. Ideally, you want the hammer, and that looks like what she's going for. But things are still pretty even. Badger straight. Did I read it? Oh no. Okay. Oh, the heat's on. So heat speeds up the timer, and if that bomb fuse ever goes all the way down, you immediately lose the round. That is like how the game has a timer. And oh no, a self heat. So normally heat. Oh no, we might see a bomb out. Ah. Yeah, so normally with the a bomb or a fuse, you just kind of like at minimum, or at most you end up going for one clears just to keep yourself alive for a little bit, and you maybe don't go for as big a play or as like calculated, but it doesn't actually change anything about what you can do. So if you're fast enough, you can try to do it in a way where you just do all the same plays you would normally do. Ooh, I think that was an unintentional, didn't see the coins there. Heal on the opponent. And then Jay getting a hammer. This is looking pretty good for Idolism Jay. It's a 2-chain that can set up for something, maybe a heat off of these. Oh, all right, Sugar Badger changing the colors, gonna jam up. Gets heated. This was bad last game, but maybe won't be as bad this game. Lining up the heptagons. All right. Gotta be careful now. A lot of coins on board. There's an okay, yeah, heat is set up right now, so that is a way to cash him out. But now it's just switched to a self-tickle, but taking it anyway, you gotta get those coins off board. Self-tickle is not the worst thing in the world. The biggest problem with it is, now you're down a card, basically. Ooh, Jay getting flustered. Can't find how to make this chain. Oh, just got it in the nick of time. A sliver of life left.
This match is getting spicy.
All right, coming down. Jay just needs this one round to take the game, or take the set. Sugar Badger getting 2 quick 1-chains. Has coins on board. Her cards are okay, but there are a lot of it's a lot of heats, a lot of feathers. Maybe not necessarily the strongest. Heats are gonna probably keep Jay off of any kind of like chains. Jay's going more for 2 chains, and the feather is gonna jam up like any kind of chains that are already set up. So Jay is heated now, still going for the 2 chains, able to see them fast enough, I guess. Trying to figure out how to get the 2 chain there. I had to break it in order to not die to heat. But now setting up another heat. Let's see how Sugar Badger likes it. And gets heated at the same time. So both players in heat. Did Tickle change the track? The music changes, I think, when the songs just hit like a loop point, they change to the other song. I'm not sure exactly what triggers it, but they also change in tempo if when players get low on life. So that might have also happened. But yeah, if the tracks are set to random, which they are currently, it'll just kind of cycle through them in a random order. Idolism J takes it and will advance in the bracket.
Welcome to Bullet Club.
Right. I will post the bracket link if you want to follow along. Oh wait, I gotta click the button to start. Alright. Here we go. Alright, up next we're gonna have Dr. Science and Boats and Joes. And let me unmute Jay. Alright, Jay, you are unmuted. Or you should be.
Well, I'm about to go to the bathroom, so I'm self-muting.
Oh. Good timing, I guess. Alright.
Let's go.
Okay, I am back.
Alright.
Oh, GG's to Sugar Badger. That was close.
Yeah.
That was tight.
We've got they did not tell me
More cuties.
sides.
Hope.
Well, we'll just guess.
I'm on my way back to my computer, so I can't even see.
Uh-oh.
I will set these sides.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, I've got
do I
fix the score.
do I spectate by connecting to the parsec, or is that gonna mess everything up?
You I would not do it right now because they're in match.
Yeah.
In theory, yeah. Let me do a screen share.
Okay, thank you.
Don't screen share OBS. Oh, can I? Well, hold on. I'll screen share Parsec. Can you
There
see
we
it?
go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We can do this.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, it is. Yeah, I was gonna say, because I hadn't seen it, I was like, oh, I mean, you could probably tell who's playing who, unless it's a mirror match.
Yeah,
It's surprised it's a mirror match.
Yeah. So I just guessed that
Mhm.
Dr. Science. I decided to guess is on P2.
All right, so our assumption, we're working with
Yeah.
the audience. We're working with Dr. Science P2, Boats and Joe's P1.
Yep.
And Joe is currently living by a most magical pixel. I can't even see it. It literally is not there.
Other way around. Oh. Okay. Well.
Okay,
Yeah. Science first round on a pixel with just letting
yeah.
Boats and Joe's die to bomb.
we have confirmation that Dr. Science is player 2 now, so
Okay.
we are.
Good.
So yeah, Dr. Science off the races real quick with like the
Yeah.
hardest round one. All right, setting up, blindfold. Yep,
Yeah.
there we go. And at least we'll be able to have Joe's kind of wait out blindfold if you need to, because he did get a match for like right as blindfold went.
Yeah.
Like-
Blindfold. No, blindfold resets your timer.
Oh, it does. Okay.
I believe so. The only one that doesn't is heat, and
Yeah, 'cause-
the damaging specials. But it looks like Joe is
Oh,
trying
man.
to set up a chain of some sort, but after the blind, maybe just go. Well, no, that was a 2-chain. So
Yeah, and Dr. Science had a sick 3-chain go down.
nice. All right, Joe is now, I think, just gonna set this off. Gets the tickle, although Dr. Science was already on his way to setting up a coin, and the tickles do not affect coins. So now Dr. Science takes it with a quick 2-chain to get the last little bit of damage. All right.
So you can see he's working for it.
Yeah.
There was like a real good setup Dr. Science had for like a
Yep.
potential 3-chain, but it just couldn't figure out how to get it.
No, Dr. Science got
Um,
the 3-chain. It's Boats and Joe's ended up taking the 2-chain. I believe Joe normally. I think he has told me before that like he really wants to do 3-chains because they're cool, but he has a little trouble seeing them maybe, and ends up going for
that is
2-chains a lot.
100% me. I
Yeah.
can't. I can parse out 2-chains like no one's business. 3-chains are magic. I don't understand them still. And you've shown me multiple times.
The 2-chains are pretty strong because the just like the opportunity cost of doing a 3-chain, it always takes a little while. Even if you
Mhm.
like see them quickly, just setting them up takes a while,
Yeah.
and you sometimes need the you need to keep the speed up.
Yeah, I think it's also like a underappreciated aspect that just setting up a 3-chain is an execution test, because you are under the gun with a timer, and if
Yeah.
you mess up one thing and send something like diagonally accidentally because you did a left up and like at the same time, like you can easily screw yourself out of the entire round, because now you just messed up what you were going for and you can't reset the timer fast enough.
Yeah, it can be very punishing. The very frantic music change.
Yes. Music B, best song in the game, IMO.
Is this one Music B?
This is Music B.
Yeah, okay. I can never remember. Music A was the only one for so long that like that
Yeah.
one's lodged in my brain, and then the all the other ones I'm like, it's one of the ones that's not A.
I was wondering how this game would feel not listening to Music A all the time, but Music B slams.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully this the Twitch VOD doesn't get muted.
Hope not.
The on YouTube I had a video get like I think it was demonetized because the one of the artists on one of the tracks had like a copyright claim, or
On
someone
one of
claimed
these
to be an artist.
on one of these tracks? Damn.
Yeah, but I think
Dang.
it should be fine,
Okay.
and if not, I can get I can re-upload the VOD. It's fine.
Yeah. Alright, setting up for setting up for 2-chain. There we go.
Setting up 3-chain. It looks like on Boats and Joe's side.
Ooh, yeah. Classic 1+2 chain, as
Yeah.
we were.
Now, really jammed up on coins though. This is one of the things that changed like somewhat recently. So if you watched the last time we had a big Flick Club tournament, the doing combos gives you that number of coins. So if you start going for really large chains, you can get either awkward numbers of coins. Like 3 coins is a very awkward number because in order to clear them quickly, you want 4 coins or 5 coins. Because 5 coins you can just make a match real quick, and 4 coins you can like set up a bump spike or something. You know, a lot of the basic like chain setups use 4s mostly. So 3 is kind of awkward. You can chain into it if you want, but it's awkward to set up. And then you can make a 1 chain to get the 4th one that you need, but then that's like a little bit of extra setup time that you need. So having like Joe right now has 6 coins, which is just kind of a weird amount, because like you could do a 2-chain into him, which he's doing right now, and now he's got 3 coins left over. Again, another awkward amount. Meanwhile,
yeah, and he did also blindfold himself with that goal.
Yeah.
With that coin.
Joe has told me before he does not look at what coin he's getting.
That is one of the few things I do look at, because I think when you have I'm not gonna say with coin overload, but like when you realize, oh, it's time to clear coins, you do have to make a decision. How do you clear the coins to not screw yourself? Because if you're currently on a color that will either hurt you, somehow, you have to then see if you can chain into a good color.
Yeah. And
then let the second chain be the coins. So like there's a little bit of thinking with it. Or you can go like, go crazy. And I don't think it really hinders you that much unless you accidentally chain into a hammer on your own head, in which case that sucks.
It depends on what you go with chains. I know that this is why Joe plays Elin. I believe that one went to Joe. It's always a little confusing with the mirrors, but oh,
someone
you gotta restart.
Yeah, we need to restart.
Dr. Science wants to change character.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know that this is part of the reason for Joe's character choice is that Elin has the lowest special stat, and that means that if you end up hitting yourself.
Elin.
Okay, yeah. If you end up hitting yourself, then you deal the least amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Science going to pink.
Going to pink.
Show me what you got. Quick.
So, pink, Zeta, and Mimi are the 2 special characters, and then the offense and defense values more or less just even out on between them. There's a little bit, I think, of like bias towards one side, and Dr. Science starting things off strong by putting himself in heat.
Yep.
But
as we said, you want to clear the coins, but you also don't want to hurt yourself.
Yeah. He is. I mean, like, he's not. Joe's not in a big lead. You know, the heat has not really affected anything.
Heat is probably the easiest thing to hurt yourself with, because there's also sometimes sometimes you do need to just get rid of the coins to get your board state back.
Dr. Science going with bad manners and tickling himself right as he sees that Joe's about to bomb out.
BMs.
Oh, nice 3-chain from Joe, and has the coin set up. Although the special move that is currently set is not very good, but if he combos into the it worked out because
it did.
Dr. Science set him up for it. So Dr. Science's field layout is not very good. He only has clears in colors that will not set him up, and yeah, he ends up having to take the self-blind. He could have at the last minute pivoted and just taken a coin clear because Joe happened to set him up on a good color, but That's one of the dangers of having too many coins. Although this setup is pretty nice. Oh, I don't know if he wanted to do that. Oh, but he can, if he's smart about this, he can set up a guaranteed hammer. He didn't get the guaranteed hammer, but he got it fast enough. It's all right. 5-second rule. Yeah, June is a relatively new character. Oh, Joe takes that round. Says,
yeah, that was a hectic coin battle of a rounds.
Yeah. Joe says, "No, I spotted you that bomb out. That's I'm just gonna take the rest of these real quick." All right, going for a 2-chain here from Joe. Now has coins set up. Is he gonna 2-chain into these coins? No, but he is maybe just gonna spend them. Oh, he's gonna 2-chain now to try and get the hammer. Or okay, yeah. Joe is being a little bit more cautious this game. I think after in last game he lost a couple rounds due to bad like self coin or bad getting the bad coins.
Yeah.
So he's being a little bit more cautious, slowing down a bit before making committing to a change.
Oh,
the tickle,
man, what a perfectly timed tickle.
Yeah.
Dr. Science was going for the pink setup.
Yeah. The tickles are really interesting because they're kind of like simultaneously the worst and best special, depending on the timing you use them. And it's really hard to like be playing in such a space where you're watching your opponent's board enough to know when a good time to tickle is. But if you can do that and your opponent is not playing around them, then you can put them really far back on tempo.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep track of your opponent's board though, but
yeah,
it's still worthwhile to sometimes just, as we talked about, you got to get rid of coins, like just throw it out there and then hope it lands.
Yeah, and watching your opponent's board is something that's like, it's almost like a it's almost like an opportunity cost thing, because if you're paying attention to it, it is limiting how fast you can move. Because there's really no cap on how quickly you can do anything in this game. The speed at which tiles move is like, I don't know if it's exactly 1 frame, but when I was trying to test it, I could not do inputs myself fast enough to figure out where like a bottleneck was.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Science was trying to set up for a 2-chain, but he was sadly setting up 2 4-ofs and didn't have a 5er to connect them.
Yeah, that's one of the things you gotta just
brutal.
Be very quick at counting,
Yeah.
If you're a math major, this is the game for you, Ooh, and he was in an awkward situation with so many coins, but he had so many coins and so many heptagons, so he was able to make it go. But then here, taking the self tickle just to clear the space.
That's a perfectly fine self tickle just to clear out the coins.
Yeah, self tickles, because you know where your board is when you do them, are like almost always, if they're not safe, you know that they're not safe.
Mm-hmm.
You can build your chain with respect to it. And there we go. Dr. Science evening it up. Says no, I counterpicked you.
It was a very good round from Dr. Science.
Yeah.
He did have a couple like real sweaty moments trying to set up some 2-chains, but like he pulled it off real nicely. There we go. There's a 1+2 chain by Joe to start it off.
Yeah,
big strong start.
On those openings, you get just a little bit of time before you can actually move, and because of that, the most that you can do in that moment is look at your board, count your pieces, and go, I can do the 3-chain with this, this, and this. And that's like you can open with that really strong. If you do like a very large chain that involves like coins, you can take stock of everything you have and just look at the colors and go, this is what I need to do. And like while that chain is going off, then you can look at your cards, then you can look at your opponent's screen, then you can look at everything else.
Mm-hmm. And it is worth noting that while that chain is going off, you cannot move your board, but you can move your cursor.
Yeah.
So even when during your chain is your time to kind of be aware of your surroundings, but you can also set yourself into position for your next move.
Those last few interactions were so good from Dr. Science. It might not be enough to take the whole game, but he was able to switch colors on Joe right before a clear and make Joe hammer himself.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't enough, but it was that into a 3-chain. It was so much damage. Really, really good
Welcome to Flick Club.
play from Dr. Science, who unfortunately wasn't able to translate that into a match win, but he's still alive in the loser's bracket. And speaking of the bracket, let me go ahead and advance. Go ahead and advance Joe here, and then we'll look at our next match. Is going to be, it looks like, we'll do Kayat 7 and Idolism J.
All right.
Or wait, you took it over Sugar Badger, correct?
Yes, I took
Yeah,
over Sugar
okay,
Badger.
yeah. Sorry, just making double checking my bracket.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna hop off the screen share and then mute me as you please.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, it looks like yeah, we got Idolism J in T1. All right, we got some parsec stuff happening. All right, looks like. Oh yeah, looks like they are in. All right, I fix the names here. All right. Oh, always forgetting score. Never remembering score. Okay. Oh, you know what?
Leave it
My
all on
name's
the
a little
floor. Flick.
Fix that real quick. Okay. All right, both players going at it. So Kayat7 picked June, who is the little blobby girl, and what June does is she becomes a copy of whoever your opponent picks. So picking June guarantees you a is this a 4-chain? 3-chain. Okay. Guarantees you a mirror match, and for that reason, June does not have any bad matchups. June also does not have any good matchups, but you know, if you're confident in your abilities, then not a huge issue, right? And it looks like, you know, Kayat has been off to a pretty strong start, getting some chains here, although not great, not a great card to get, but rolling with it. When you heal your opponent, you do still deal damage both for the coin, the coin clear itself that causes the heal, and for anything in the chain leading up to it. So, you know, comboing into one still does, I think, net a little bit of damage. Or, I don't remember. I'd have to look at the numbers again, but often comboing into a heal is still like a little bit of damage. It's just that you're set back on tempo.
You'll love to see it.
And there we go. Pretty clean from
Leave it
Hyatt.
all on the floor. Flick.
But we'll see if Idolism J can rebound from this. Setting up a chain of some kind. Oh, in this really awkward space where, yeah, he wanted to set up the chain, but he had the empty spot, and oh my god, that was so huge from Kayet. I didn't count, but that was like a 6 chain or something. Huge damage. That's gonna be rough to come back from. So we'll see. Jay is gonna need some good coins. Does have, ooh, I don't know if he intended that. He did have a setup for a hammer right there, but couldn't get to it in time. He was under heat, so, you know, it's hard to make that happen. And Kayet is really just not, he's got a small walk to lethal here, and he's taking it with the 2 chain to be sure. It is a little difficult sometimes to assess how much health your opponent is at. Sometimes they're at about, you know, a one clear's worth of damage. Sometimes they're a little bit beyond that. So you gotta kind of make an assessment at that moment. Kayet not starting off super fast, but, you know, going for a lot of 1 chains here, setting up for coins, and then gonna go into a hammer, maybe? No, just going for more clears, getting more coins on board, and then setting up for the hammer, but Idolism J keeping the hammer away and forcing Kayet to take the heat instead. Oh no, Jay is, yeah, just jammed up on coins there. Had to just take a bad clear to stay alive, but didn't want to do it and ended up waiting too long, dying for it. Next round, we see both players trying to set up some kind of chain. Jay fires off a 2 chain. Kayet is setting up. Tried to find something, couldn't quite get there, but is setting up for a 3 chain right now, and in 4 chain, in fact. So that's going to set up for 5 coins right off the bat, and has a lot of options for coins. Is going to hold on to them, take the feather here, put Jay back a little bit on tempo, but health is relatively even, though Kayet does have a lead and is going to hang on to that lead as long as he keeps this pace up, getting chain after chain, setting up for, oh man, his hand is so good there. Takes another feather to do a bit of a tickle and put Jay a little bit further back. Jay a little jammed up on coins, can get a bump spike here to go into a healer, but is maybe going instead. Okay, couldn't quite get there via the chain, but gets there via a 1 clear into another. But all of that health that he healed back is immediately gone when Kayet fires off that chain. And it's not over, but it's still a little bit over.
You'll love to see it. Let's put on a show. Flick.
Here we go, round 2, kicking off. Idolism J setting up a 2 chain, it looks like. Kayet going for a 4 chain. Setting up the 4 chain. Ooh, 5, 6, 7 chain. That's pretty big. But a lot of coins, and you're just kind of at the mercy of whatever the game gave you. Now, luckily, the game gave Kayet a hammer. So a 7 chain into a hammer is a ridiculously strong start. Very hard to come back from unless Jay can fire off something similar. And he's got a hammer almost set up, but changed at the last minute into a blind, and Kayet gets a heal. So this is a rough hill to climb. It looks like Jay is gonna try and scrape something together, get some coins on board, and maybe try to make a miracle, but
Show me what you got.
not able to find it. we are going in now to round 3. Game point for Kayet, who is setting up another.
Uh-oh.
This is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, a full clear. Woo. That's a lot. Going into a heal, going into just more coins on board,
Uh-oh.
more chains, and Jay, real slow start from Jay. Getting hit by a full clear is a little demoralizing. Hits with the hammer, and almost a bomb out. That would have been, the ideal end. Oh no! An unfortunate accidental shift, it looked like, from Jay. Moved the
Welcome to Flick Club.
moved the coins in the wrong way. So Kayet is gonna take it. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute Jay here. All right, Jay, you should be unmuted.
I'm back. Okay. Good games to Kayet.
Yep.
I'm so mad. I'm sure you saw, but I had a number of critical misplays, and I couldn't see what they were doing. I assumed they were killing me super fast by going for hammer combos.
A little bit.
Okay.
They had a
'cause
lot of very large chains, especially in that last game. They did in fact get a full clear.
Okay, I have no idea what was going on because I was behind the ball the entire time, so I didn't even dare look at their screen. Do you want me to disconnect or stay in for spectating? I mean, I can screen share, that's no problem.
Yeah, you can just go with the screen share.
Yeah, I think this works
I think
fine.
it can be a little tricky if we get multiple. If there's multiple people with what do you call it? Gamepads connected.
Mhm.
So I made sure to disconnect all of my sticks and stuff before I started. Because Parsec can do some weird things with regard to the order of who's which controller. So waiting. Okay. Here, I'm gonna go here before I fix the names because just in case they jump straight in. We got Boats and Joes on P1 side. And we've got Poco on P2 side. Poco is playing Sky, who I think is maybe the best character. I think that there's maybe an argument for Elin, but so the argument for Elin is that Elin has the most damage slash health, if you're comparing stuff. Elin doesn't have to rely on specials at all.
Mhm.
The thing with Sky is that as long as you get at least one hammer, Sky is now out damaging Elin based on how much damage Sky's hammers do, because they do a shit ton.
Yeah, I've debated going with Sky because I want to do hammer combos because I feel like that's an incredibly efficient way to win.
Ooh. And a self hammer combo.
Ouch.
Oh, but Joe is on the cusp of a 3-chain, it looks like.
Uh-oh.
If he can figure out how to get it. There we go. Oh, that's going to be more than that. That's going to be a 4-chain. Wow, wow, wow. Takes it with that 4-chain at the last second.
Damn.
Show me
Yeah.
what you got.
Yeah, the thing with Sky is that you there's just no way to guarantee a hammer. So, Poco, Lux out here has 2 options for a hammer. So as long as he keeps those in mind and, reserves a little bit of one of those colors, then he should be fine.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I personally am ready for the mental dexterity of setting up hammer combos, because there is definitely a I have to clear this, I cannot clear that until it's time.
Yeah.
That you have to keep in the back of your mind if you're gonna set up a hammer combo.
Yeah, and Poco
Like
is
it's doable. You just have to be thinking about the game a little differently.
Yeah. Poco is going for a lot of one chains here to try and maximize the number of coins.
There we go.
So that they can
and that was,
get as
that was a
many
perfect
hammers as
setup.
possible. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and
a
has
perfect setup for a hammer.
another hammer available here just in case Joe gets like a healer to stay alive. But
Ooh,
that
prime
tickle could
tickle.
be a lot, but it doesn't look like it's gonna end up being
Yeah.
unless Poco gets real jammed up here. But no.
Yeah, that was a very efficient tickle, but not enough.
Yeah.
It was
It was a
definitely
little
in
bit
the
too
right
late.
zone though.
All right, Joe is taking the early lead. I think Joe, it looks like now, is trying to go a little bit more for speed. Although I say that, and Joe sets up a 3-chain real fast. But maybe a little frazzled here. Has some, in a position now where Poco is keeping Joe stuck on just like bad colors. Oh, and Joe ends up blindfolding himself. So that's not great for him, and Poco is going to have all this time to set up. That was, I think, 3 clears in the time it took Joe to get through the blindfold, and Joe, I think, maybe got 1 or 2.
Self blindfolds are the worst.
Yeah. In
it feels so
theory,
bad.
you know what your board is, so it's not the worst, and if you strategize and you clear stuff in the open zones, you know what those are, so you can have perfect information of your board still, but it's so much to keep track of.
And
then a
I also
self
wouldn't say
hammer.
that it's there's a 4-chain. I would also say it's not perfect information because if you're self blindfolding, that means that there's a clear that happens, and you have to very quickly recognize what that is before the blindfold activates.
It's
and you're
a
like,
lot.
What replaced that?
Yeah, it's a lot, but because you always know which tiles are going to get blindfolded, you can arrange the clear that way. If you're forced into it, but a lot of times it comes as just like I am in a situation I need to get out of.
Yeah, you're hunting for a 1-chain to stay alive, basically, is most of the time in a blindfold.
Yeah, or you're trying to like recover from the setup that you had previously, and just kind of hope that you remember where everything was. Ooh, that was a really nice 3-chain from Joe.
That was
There's
sick.
Yeah. Birds with the circle in the back are good.
Oh, that was a pretty good time tickle there.
Dr. Size hammer combo is just doing like a clear with a color that sets up the hammer in your hand and then getting the hammer.
Yeah,
Like
it
with
would
a
be
coin.
a color chain, and then the 4-piece 2-chain is your coin that sets off the hammer. That way you can't guarantee it, but
You can
that's the
guarantee it.
closest thing. What's up?
You can guarantee it, but guaranteeing it
Okay,
is harder.
Yeah.
If
it's-
the
but
chains happen
it's-
simultaneously.
Yeah, it would be. It's the intention is that by setting the clear that is the color of your hammer, and then this 2-chain of the 4-coin coming afterwards that you are setting up. You know it's going to be a hammer because it's the way your chain works.
Yeah. All right, Boats and Joe's has tied it up.
It's all come down to this. Quick,
So here we go. This is the final round of the
First game.
yeah. This is the canon story mode match.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Story mode. Yeah, story mode recently included in the game.
Yeah,
Hmm.
although when I say story mode match, I mean Boats and Joe's versus Poco is the story mode match. It's the story mode
Okay.
of real life.
Story mode of real life. I do not know Poco, so they're lost on the context.
Poco and Boats and Joe's just meet in bracket all the time.
Aw.
All right, so this is it started really strong with a 4-chain from Boats and Joe's, and that has kind of been carrying the momentum. And it does, Poco's hand here is not super great. Oh no, a self-blind is definitely not what Poco wanted. So they're gonna have to work through this.
Yeah, and this gives Joe the time to really solidify the lead and into the end of the round.
Yeah. Although
As he can-
the,
if he
the lead is
can
not
find
like
it. There we go. That's
super
a
huge.
3-chain.
Oh my god.
Man, that was almost it. Okay, here, if he sets up the hammer,
It's not gonna be enough, I don't think. Oh my god, it was!
Oh my god!
Oh!
My god!
That was so close. I was so
good enough.
the when you and your opponent both like clear at the very end like that, the game will figure out, you know, who cleared it first and give the round to the appropriate person, which in this case was Poco. But both characters will be like cheering.
Yeah,
They're so excited.
that was an incredible way to end that set.
Yeah.
Like the hammer combo from the gods.
Yeah, the Thor combo.
Yeah.
All right, 3-chain from Joe, and setting up. Joe's going for a pattern that is like, it's the pattern for what you want to do if you want to guarantee something. But in Joe's case, a lot of times he's set up in a way where the color that he has 5 of that he's triggering it with is the one he wants. So he is setting it up in like an inverse way. I'm not in. Running a Parsec server is a lot of maintenance and moving the brackets and such. So I'm staying out of it. But it doesn't mean I cannot win my own money. But yeah, so
Alright,
Joe is going for these like 3-chain setups where a coin clears simultaneous to a color, but is setting up the colors such that he gets the special of the trigger that he sets, which in all the cases that he's doing it is the color that he wants. But it's very good like foresight. A lot of times when I play, I will like just get really tunneled into like, I need to make sure that I'm setting it up such that the chain is the trigger is not the one that sets it off, because I'm usually trying to get a 4 of to be the color I want. And Poco a bit on the defensive here, not able to find a lead. Does have a healer on board, but doesn't have the coins to make it. Can
Now
make a
it
hammer
does,
though.
but
and it looks like
hammer's available.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay. Yeah, did get hammer
Yeah.
off in time.
oh, that was really scary because it was far enough away that Joe was probably just like based on rhythm going to change color, but Joe ended up changing color to what Poco wanted. And that's another one of these things about like watching your opponent's screen, is like knowing what colors to avoid. And it's just real hard to do when you're trying to play fast, and Joe is, I think, trying to play fast and play smart and not, you know, whammy himself.
Such as the
And cool.
Elin strategy.
Another round in ya?
Yeah, it's very hard to balance all of that, but it's working out. These rounds are very, very, very close, and a lot of times it can feel like it comes down to just like 1 or 2 chains. Joe setting up a 3-chain, it looks like. Ooh, a 4-chain. 4-chain, 5 coins on board. Joe has a way to set up into a beneficial special, but ends up... oh, no! I think did get it. I thought he was gonna, like, self-blind or something, but didn't look
No,
like it.
he got the heat.
Yeah. And then Poco got the hammer to even things up and is now ahead, actually. This hand it's pretty okay. Ooh.
Oh, here comes the fast hammer. Fast hammer. Yes.
Never
was able to
punished.
get it.
Poco went for just doing ones rather than trying to bump spike and like do the hammer combo. But Joe switched the color off and then switched it back on.
You got another round in
Mhm.
ya?
So these Poco taking risks and just you know, coasting on it. This is, I think Poco has the read that like Joe is not looking at Poco's screen. Joe is probably not going to look at Poco's screen, because I mean, playing fast for Joe has been working out in a lot of these rounds. So you know,
Yeah.
why would Joe switch? But now Poco is using that to just be like, you know, he's Joe's gonna give me good hands, and I'm just gonna take them. And now,
You can see a really methodical play right now from Poco, just trying to set up.
yeah,
Took a little while to figure out what the state of the game was.
taking stock of their hand and making the most of it, holding off on clearing those hearts so that they have everything set up here. And now, even if things get changed, they have enough hearts like on backup. And yeah, gets blinded, does get the hammer. Unfortunately, in the time it took to get there, while like avoiding those hearts, Joe is able to get a lot of damage on board. So Poco's probably not going to be able to take this unless they can like get a heal off, get another hammer off. They don't have access to another hammer, do have access to a heal, but they're going to have to find it.
They don't have the the whites for they don't have the white squares for heal anyways. So that was just a rough board state.
Yeah, you gotta be able to quickly identify those things sometimes, because when you don't have the pieces, you gotta start making chains and trying to clear stuff and you know, find a way out. Get rid of all the stuff you're not gonna want to use. Hope that the RNG gives you what you need. And now here Poco looks like they're reserving the whites to make sure they don't get put in that situation again. But now they're a little jammed up on whites.
As I say, a little jammed up, and they still need one. Yeah, they had to clear, and they needed one more for a one-chain hammer, which they still do get. But that was a potentially very risky situation.
They still do get it, but all it really did was even things up, and then Joe got a little bit further ahead and has taken roughly taken the lead. The health bars are a little they're a little lopsided because of different defensive values. So at an even health bar value, Elin is in a slight lead. But now,
dude, I don't know if it wasn't paying attention or what, but that was a very deliberate-looking self-bonk. And yeah, that one, that's a bit of a bummer.
And Poco takes it. Moving on in the bracket.
Welcome to Flick Club.
Alright, let me advance the bracket. And then we will get some losers matches. Alright, we're gonna get Idolism J and Dr. Science.
Alright, so it is the wife guy battle.
Yeah. The battle of the wife guys. I was saying
Battle
to Jay,
of wife guys.
I was saying to Jay before the tournament started that you know, Dr. Science's wife is in bracket, so he's the ultimate wife guy.
I did defeat his wife, so he is coming into this battle with like wife guy protagonist honor. He has to show himself as the better wife guy right now. Anyways, I'm gonna click off the Discord stream and I'll boot in.
I will give you the mute. Oh no, Kayat's gotta drop out.
Let's go.
Okay, they're getting in. I will go in. Okay. Dr. Science on it, letting me know who is P1.
Elin. Zeta.
Yeah, I will take a look.
Show me what you got. Flick.
Okay, I'm gonna let them play it out. The bracket does get a little screwy with someone who won dropping out, but it should be okay. Also, do not worry about the stream quality. Dr. Science is merely using the cool little pixel art pieces. This game has a lot of different ways that you can change how the pieces look. And you get you know, Jay is using the like kind of solid color ones, which are pretty nice. They're very like it's very easy to see the colors there, and you can turn any, you can add like a color background to any of them in order to make them pop out a little bit more if you have trouble seeing. If you have trouble seeing like the smaller details on them, which I think is helpful, especially for like the cookies one. And then the, okay, they're just gonna hold here. Okay, so, Jay, I'm gonna unmute you, I guess, while I do this. Okay, so you are unmuted. So because...
I am unmuted.
Okay, so because Kayet is dropping out, I guess Dark Science is probably watching the stream. Because Kayet's dropping out, it creates a weird situation. So Kayet beat Jay, but now we have a bye in winners finals, which is not doesn't make a lot of sense. So what we can do is I can change the result for Kayet. So Kayet would become a bye for Dr. Science, and Jay, you would float up through to winners finals and be matched up against Poco.
Whatever suits, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. So that's the way that makes the most sense with how the bracket is. You guys, I guess, can play this out if you want. Like, we have the time for it. Or you can just...
I would prefer not to. I am under the threat of having to leave myself eventually, although I don't think it will be an issue, so...
Yeah. Okay,
Alright, so...
In that case, we will, I'll fix the bracket, and we will instead run Boats and Joes versus Sugar Badger.
Okay, I'm disconnecting.
No, oh, well, whatever. Joe, you can't take control of the menu, I think, because, yeah, there's not another controller connected to the other side. But yeah, no, we're good now, I think.
Welcome to Flick Club. Let's go.
All right, we got Boats and Joes, and we got Sugar Badger.
All right.
Okay. All right. Things starting off here. Joe, I think, is going for a 4-chain here.
Yep.
But yeah, it didn't quite have it.
Yeah.
I
saw the setup.
Yeah, I saw some ways it could have been recovered, but I think he was just like, screw it. Keep moving. Sugar Badger. Yeah.
You do have to keep moving in this game. Sitting around trying to square away a combo too long does get you super killed.
Yeah.
If not outright, like actually you just lose like tempo, but like it can kill you outright. Like remember, you are under the gun at all times in this game. And he does get a hammer combo. All right.
Yeah, Sugar Badger, a little jammed up on coins, was a little jammed up on coins earlier too, and now is stuck in a
Ooh.
situation where things were looking pretty good for it, but
there they go. They had to get rid of the like disadvantageous colors they were given, so they were able to coin into a Band-Aid, which is keeping them quite alive. But
yeah, and then they were able to find a hammer, and if they can get through this blind, they're not in a bad spot at all. But
yeah, so surviving the blind is roughly timed, because otherwise they would have had probably a pretty good clear way to actually clear away a couple more and potentially win that round. But it was just a very opportune time for a blindfold. Like, it didn't end the game, but like it just sets you far enough back where Joe had the opportunity to finish it off.
Yeah, it was a situation where, like, without that blind, because Joe took a while to find the 2-chain that was going to end the game. Without that blind, very, very possible that Joe ends up dying to like a 2-chain from Sugar Badger, or just like 2 or 3 quick 1 clears. Here we go, another blind. Now the blinds from Elin do not last as long as other characters, but they do last, you know, long enough to jam you up. Go setting up another chain. Oh, that was interesting. Joe had the setup for like another blind, I think it was, and seemingly deliberately changed it in order to get a worse. It was like a opponent.
We trained him wrong on purpose.
Things are still pretty even. It's still anyone's game, and Joe's gonna get a healer here, which is pretty big.
Good Band-Aid. Yeah.
And then a self-heat from Sugar Badger is not gonna do her a ton of favors.
I love how characters are so often just still cheering in loss. Everyone's having a good time. Everybody having a good time.
Yeah, you know, win or lose, that's not the important part. Nice 4-chain from Joe. Sets up a blind combo here really well. Oh, okay. Had a little trouble finding that last heptagon, but in there. Joe trying to set up a 4-chain, not having an easy time figuring it out, and ends up having to take a 1-chain. And now a 2-chain. Ooh, got the 3-chain actually.
There we go. Yes. It's rough setting up a chain and then having to, you know, not use it. It really stings because you lose so much tempo.
Yeah, Joe got some very good, like quickly assess the new board state, and was able to get a few more chains into coin for a blind, and that has really set. Ooh, that was an opponent's heal, but I think it perfectly evened out.
Baby Elin.
Yeah, I love the. It looks almost like the Choki IK.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Arms on each side. Just like to state for the record that I will give the deed to my house to Baby June. I love Baby June so much.
I love. Have you seen the June mirror match win pose in non-esports mode?
No, I have not. I will have to check that out. All right.
Ooh, a self-heat from Joe. Putting it on. He's putting it on himself.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Yeah, get the heal.
Sugar Badger does get a heal, which is going to help a lot because she was down on health pretty badly going into that.
Yeah, now she's up a little bit, I think. That's about even.
About even, but you know, very good job in reestablishing herself in the rounds. All right, setting up.
Going for these 1-chains, setting up coins.
Setting up a hammer. There we go. She gets it. Big ol' bonk. Smart play from Sugar Badger.
Yeah, and she can set up a heal pretty soon here. So if she's fast enough on these coins, she can get it.
Yeah, you can see that we got.
Ooh, okay, Joe gives it back.
Yeah, Joe's taking his time.
Ooh, she didn't go for it. Maybe didn't see that the color had changed. And now kind of on the back foot.
Yeah, she didn't. Her hand stunk, but here we go.
Oh!
Oh, that was such a good end of the round for Sugar Badger. Her hand stunk. She did have no good cards that she could use. So, like, power to her for getting out of that one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, even though we have a really small bracket today, like everyone who's playing Flight Club right now, it's like showing up. Like people are good at this. This is like healthy, good play.
Yeah, a lot of good strong play. Especially, it's a game that is pretty hard to get like matches in at this point because of the I don't know if you've heard this, Jay, but there's like a big global pandemic happening. I just found out.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an issue, kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
And realistically, if I asked Rick to have me run one more tournament at Combo Breaker this year, I'm sure he'd murder me on the spot.
If I can make it, I'll figure out a way to run.
Okay. I mean, the burden of Chaos Code might be off your back, so that'll free up your schedule a little bit.
Yeah. I'll steal your advanced variable geo setup. You're running that on emulator, right?
I can't remember what I'm doing, but we'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Back to the match.
Yeah.
I might run it on PS3 just because Nendefen requires a PhD to figure out how to set the fucking controls.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Sugar Badger's been putting the boots to Joe on this one.
Yeah. Sugar Badger lost that first game and just like the third eye opened
back.
Up.
Yeah.
Download complete.
Download complete. And I think Zeta is such a like strong all-arounder character. So really good play from it.
There's
especially in the.
Yeah, I think there's like characters who are like better than other characters in this game, but I don't think there's any character who's like bad. Like I don't think your character choice is gonna like be any kind of like detriment to you.
No one loses at the character select screen here.
Yeah.
But they will influence your playstyle. Oh my god, massive damage coming out from Elin on that. Oh my goodness. The bar can't even catch up right now.
Yeah. Alright, nice feather. Gonna jam things up a little bit. Joe trying to reassess the new board state. Find some clears. Is gonna get a couple quick one clears, it looks like. Ooh, yeah. That's an easy 2-chain. But now another feather.
She's gonna get another tickle, and
ooh, blinded.
Oh no, the blindfold. This could be rough.
Could be rough. Ooh.
She does have a bandage in her hand if she can find her way to get to it, but I don't know if it'll be possible.
This match is getting spicy.
All right, Joe putting himself on the board. Doesn't want to go home this early. Sugar Badger's hand looking pretty nice. Got a hammer, got a heal, got a tickle. Some good options. Joe's hand also looking nice. Same options actually.
We could immediately go for it. He was deliciously set up for just going straight into a hammer.
Yeah, and Sugar Badger unfortunately self-hammering. So
that's my missed. Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
That's
the health gap
huge damage swing.
Gonna be a lot of work to come back from this. I think Sugar Badger can do it. It looks like Joe might be forced to.
Her hand doesn't have. Yeah, her hand doesn't really have anything majorly impactful. She would need a hammer or a band-aid. She can,
blind
play
is probably the
to
best
disrupt
option.
At best.
And now could go for a heal here, but it would have to be real quick because she's living on a pixel. So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, go for heal. Oh no, didn't have time for it.
Yeah. It would have still been rough.
Yeah. Nice scrap out of her though for trying to keep it alive.
All right, nice 2-chain, open things up. Joe, I think, was trying to get a 3-chain, kind of got into a weird situation with the setup and had to abort, take a 2-chain, but is, you know, moving pretty quickly here, reestablishing board state. Gets a tickle. Sugar Badger's board in this position is really not great.
It's not great.
Ooh, okay, but Joe gives her the heal, which is an easy out. And
Thank
now
you, Joe. Yeah.
Can just reestablish things. The tickles when your opponent has like 6 coins on board or so can be real good because you can just there's decent odds that you're gonna screw up their hand some later, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and Joe giving Sugar Badger another heal. That Joe was ahead on tempo, like pretty decent, but then just that heal really swung things, and now it is definitely anyone's game.
Yeah, it's fascinating as a player and a commentator for this game. The game is so different when you have the ability to look at both boards and commentate because we must impress again. It is intense to have a mental stack able to look at your opponent's board while you're playing.
Yeah. It's anyone who's played, you know, any puzzle games, I'm sure knows this. And Flick Club's definitely no exception, and the game is so fast that you don't even have really the only moments you have are like a couple seconds while a clear is going off, and you also need to be
very little grace time.
Because you also need to be able to look at your own hand and see like when you have a hammer and stuff. And Sugar Badger goes up 1 game, and now we're tied up 1-1.
Yeah, to people who haven't played this game and are looking at it, like it is relatively intense how many things are on screen that you can be paying attention to and debatably should, but like you can't at once.
Yeah, in theory you're paying attention to every single thing, but in practice you gotta make concessions to your attention span, you know.
And everything you're paying attention to is also going to affect your tempo. So it's all everything has a cost in this game.
Yeah, there's no point at which you have like maxed out any given skill. The ceiling is so high.
All right, put the heat on Joe.
Joe has so many coins.
Ooh, yeah, and he had beautiful timing for it too.
A pretty decent hand for it with some options, and just managed to scrape out of there. Is gonna go for a self heal, which is gonna kind of negate the damage, but Joe is so ahead that it's fine. Ooh, that tickle might have swung things, slowing Joe down a bit, but no.
Yeah, and
hard.
Sugar Badger has a pretty good board state.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not enough. Yeah, after that tickle, Sugar Badger's board state was a lot of like very compact colors, like you could easily make chains out of with very little movement. So that could have been a real good swing. It's just it wasn't enough.
Yeah. It is hard to find the ways to turn those like small advantages into something that can really swing the whole match.
It's hard to know if you made a small swing because you'd have to be aware of your opponent's board state. So that's
tracking your opponent's health and their board, and did they heal this game?
Yeah, it's as we said before, we cannot impress enough like how difficult it is to keep everything in your head.
Yeah.
We are incredibly blessed to be sitting here as commentators, able to watch from above.
Oh, and oh man, Sugar Badger had lined up a heal that was going to be pretty good, pretty decent, really recover a lot of the life gap, but at the last second it turned into an opponent heal.
Oh, okay. This is gonna...
Yeah.
That's just the blindfold, just to seal the end of the deal there. So Joe up 2 rounds.
Yeah. And on it's 1-1 currently, so it's anyone can take it.
Yeah.
The Sugar Badger is gonna have to find the outs here.
Joe setting up for a 2-chain, but it's a little far away. He had to come back for it.
Right? Oh no, didn't get the 2-chain. Sorry. Sugar Badger. That tickle setting Sugar Badger back a little bit. If she can find some clears here, she is ahead on life.
Mm-hmm. Joe setting up right now for a 1+2 chain. Gets it off.
She's not ahead on life anymore. And Joe is set up for a heal if he can find it. But in order to get that heal and like take advantage of it, he would have had to break his chain.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. And he's now ended up blinded.
Blindfold and self-tickles, which is basically useless.
Yeah, that's the worst time to get tickled is if you're blindfolded, because then you have no clue what the fuck is happening.
Mm-hmm. This is tragic, but...
Oh, and then an opponent heal. Ooh.
Alright, we could be seeing a setup for a blindfold here out of Sugar Badger. There it is. So can Joe finish this round off from behind?
I think a 3-chain or like a 2-chain plus a one clear.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Sugar Badger's trying to set up a 2-chain to finish this off.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it, just with the 1-chain. Was able to get back on the board. Alright. Heated. That was tight.
Yeah, Joe's been finding these chains, getting 3 chains when he needs them, being pretty consistent about it. But oh no. Okay.
Oh, still gets a 2-chain out of it, and an immediate second 2-chain.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
good
he had
Joe.
he had a 3-chain set up, but set up in a way where he couldn't actually get the trigger off. So he just very immediately breaks it to get that to get a 2-chain, and then it's because it was almost perfectly set up, has the board state to just get another 2-chain right away, which is very good. You know, about as good as getting a 3-chain. It's just getting those back to back.
Rapid 2-chains.
Yeah.
Yep. And he did get a hammer after that, so he was really stacking the damage up, and you know, had a pretty good advantage so far in the rounds.
His hand is like pretty good, but only if he can shift the color here. And he needs to be able to that's not clubs, which is all he's got. So he's just gonna take a self tickle.
And that tickle was nice because he did have a couple things set up he now has to reestablish. He was able to do so with another nice 2-chain, but
this blind could be pretty big.
Yeah, this could be rough.
Because the tickle was so recent, the blind is like probably Joe is not gonna have a great memory of what's where. Ooh, Sugar Badger is gonna need to figure out a way to shift onto. Yep. Oh, under the clubs. This might do it.
Yes. There we go.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
Sugar Badger could be. Oh no, but that was a big damage from Joe. Last one.
Oh.
Oh my
god. Oh man. On a pixel.
Oh my god. On a pixel in a dream.
And now the rounds are tied up. Last round. Last game.
Holy crap.
Boats and Joes versus Sugar Badger. Anyone's game. Sugar Badger opening things off. Quick 1-chain. Another quick 1-chain. Joe finally gets on the board with a 2-chain. But Sugar Badger is ahead on life here because of just how fast she can find these 1-chains. Goes for a tickle. Yeah. Gonna screw with what Joe can find. Joe doesn't have coins set up, so an early tickle, really good. Tickles can be a little bit less impactful when your opponent is like trying to set up coins for stuff, because you know the coins don't get moved, so they'll still have that that piece of their chain set up, or you know maybe they just want to take a clear anyway. 3-chain from Joe, establish a bit more of some life.
Right,
trying to go for another 3-chain, I think.
Sugar Badger had to self-heat hers because she was getting a little flooded on coins and didn't really have the board state to get into something better out of her hands. So self-heating is the best way to get out of that. You know, assuming that your board state isn't like super clogged or anything, you're going to be able to like negate a heat.
She tried to go for a hammer, but was not. Joe was too quick on the draw and ended up putting heat back on, and now does not
Joe takes it.
Does not have the pieces to make the hammer. It was an interesting situation where she was like really ahead on life early on, and then Joe with a couple 3 chains was able to take things back.
Welcome to Flick Club.
I mean, a couple 3 chains is a pretty big deal, so
Yeah.
that damage swing is going to be, notable.
That was real nice play from both players. But Boats and Joe is gonna take it.
Alright,
And
so we got...
move on. So we got the next losers match. It's gonna be
Do you want to do
Science.
do you want to do that match and then do semifinals?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I challenge, the way challenge words everything always screws me, because it calls finals semis. So we're gonna do Poco and Idolism J first.
I will hop off. And mute me as you please.
Yep. Alright, we've got Idolism J from Yace versus Poco from fresh from listening to Carly Rae Jepsen's Smash Hit album Emotion to get pumped up for the tournament. I assume. I didn't ask, but scores. Right. Whoop.
Show me what you got. Flick.
All right, both players in. Poco taking an early lead, getting that quick clear. I think probably gonna try and stick close to the strategy that he was using against Joe, maybe, and go for a lot of 1 clears, occasional 2 chain, in order to get coins on board, and then turn those coins into something damaging. Ooh, a self heat, and then getting blindfolded. That is not great. A lot of times with blindfold, like a blindfold, a blindfold, you can wait long enough, like even if you can't make any chains, you can usually wait it out and your fuse will not be too hurt. Oh, and a self hammer. Oh, Poco's really getting punished on not taking proper stock of their cards. And this hand is just not great. You know, some of the other hands were workable, but this one doesn't have a lot, and you can't always bank on having a great hand. So you've got to be able to rebound from it. That being said, the lead isn't like super huge, so a blindfold might go kind of far, as long as Jay doesn't get, you know, I don't know, a 4 chain or something, and do a huge amount of damage, and then get a quick clear after that in order to seal it. Round 2. Take a look. It looks like Poco is going to set up a chain. No, just going for the quick clear. Jay, it looks like, is trying to set up a chain, getting something going. All right. Jay's hand looks pretty good. Has access to a heal, which in early game actually can be like, I don't remember if it heals you if you're already at max. I think it might heal you over the max. But in early game, not as good as in late game when it's gonna like keep you alive. Usually you want the hammer, I think. And now blindfolded, Poco can use this opportunity to get ahead on, get further ahead rather on board state. It's that 2 chain. It's another 1 set up for some coins. Can get another blind on board. Jay setting things up, getting Poco to self-hammer, which is really, really punishing with Sky. You know, not only do you really need those cards, in order to be able to make big plays and like take the lead away from your opponents, who kind of naturally start out at a lead because your damage is so low as Skye, but you get extra damage because you have the extra strong specials. And that feather, you know, it is gonna like screw up Jade because he's not familiar with this board state, but he had just done a big combo, so it's not gonna screw him up as much as it would if it was just a little bit earlier and had actually ruined the setup that he had. Now Jay starting off looking for the chain and gets a quick 2-chain. Unfortunately, by this point, Poco is already on 3 clears. Things pretty even, although Poco a little bit ahead on coins. Poco taking the chain here, now set up for a heal, and that's gonna give Poco the life lead. And now Poco just needs to maintain that while setting up for coins for the next round. Looks like a hammer, looks like a heal on Jay's side. Got access to a hammer, got access to a blind, and both players have access to a shuffle in the form of that. Oh, nice from Jay, switching colors just at the right moment to screw up Poco, punishing him for going for that those quick ones, you know. Not comboing into your coins does leave you a lot more vulnerable to color changes, especially if you're not comboing them in any way and just kind of trying to get them off raw. All right, the heat is on Jay. He's able to get this 2-chain, and then from that point is probably going to be stuck on 1-chains. Goes for the shuffle, and that is going to screw Poco up, who was trying to get, you know, like a bump spike or something into the coin, but it's not going to screw Poco up for long enough for Jay to be able to take it, because Jay's health is so low. Poco just needs a few. Next round, Poco going at it, trying to reserve those pinks in order to get the hammer, but goes ahead and clears some now. When you have so many, you can kind of bank on getting a few here. So Poco's got 4, which is enough if they set up a 3-chain, but setting up 3-chain is going to take some time, and now they actually don't have any clears they can make except for coins. I don't know if they'll see it. They might bomb out here, and they do. And that is going to give Idolsum J the game. Wow, 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 wow.
What to the maximum? Quick.
All right, game 2. Jay setting up a 2-chain, it looks like. Gets that 2-chain. Poco's finding a 2-chain of their own, plus the 1-chain from earlier. Gives them 3 coins on board. Jay also at 3 coins, looking to set up another chain, get 5 coins, be able to immediately take a special, be able to combo into 1. Looks like Jay is just going to take the heat and accept that combo. Now, Poco is ahead on damage by like a fairly significant amount because of that hammer, but is put under the threat of the fuse, and Jay knows, you know, Poco bombed out last game, maybe Poco will bomb out this game. Doesn't look like it, but having to slow down a little bit and make sure that, or not slow down, but, you know, just take what they can get. Even things up a little bit, but yeah, it looks like Poco has rebounded, and Jay is now in a pretty bad spot, needs like a lot of damage to even things up, and is not going to be able to find it. Poco taking it, coming from behind, and taking it over Jay. Poco's hand is not exactly what you'd want to see, but is pretty okay. Still has access to a hammer, so just needs to make sure that they can get that off. Jay, meanwhile, has, I think, probably the better hand. Has access to a blind if they want to try and slow Poco down. Also has access to a heal and a hammer. Ended up taking the hammer, I believe, and is a bit ahead on health. We'll see if that can maintain, or if Poco is going to be able to get off their own hammer. Set up that combo there in order to switch colors, even though they didn't have 5 of the clubs. Nice play. And now get some of those coins back in a weird situation. Oh, I didn't even see it. Was trying to set up for the hammer. Ended up having to take a self-heal because Jay was just too quick on switching colors. But still ahead a little bit on damage. Jay could take this with strong enough chains. Looks like a 2-chain here. But Poco, I think, only needs 1. Oh no, it needs 1 more. Yeah, Jay's not able to find it. Needed like a 2-chain there. I think probably could have gotten it just with coins. But, you know, it's always a little bit scary going with coins because you can maybe fuck it up with a heal, or you could maybe fuck it up by hammering yourself and just dying. But the coins do damage, so you can use them to game your opponent. But now Poco looking like they want this, they want to go into grand finals in winner's side, you know? They want to, they don't want to have to reset that bracket. Okay, setting things up. It's the 2-chain. Ahead. Jay is really ahead on, really ahead on life. Poco had like pretty decent hand, but just was too gummed up with coins in order to be able to actually have control of it. So it was at the mercy of Jay to try and give them something workable, and Jay just like didn't. And they were stuck with having to blind themselves and now having to heat themselves. Not a great situation, not the place you want to be in. Now this, you got to make the most of this special because you're probably not going to see one before the game ends. Jay gets a 2-chain here and is now, I think, maybe like 2 1-clears away from taking it. And can definitely take it with a 2-chain here as long as they get it under the bomb, and they do, and they take that round. Jay staying on board. One round against 2 up. Ooh, sees the 3-chain maybe? Nah. Oh, actually, got it. Takes that free one, and now has 5 on board to try and make something happen. Maybe combo into the, with the pink. And gets the hammer. Poco almost changing things over to the heptagons, which would have screwed up Jay's combo, but didn't get it in time. Now Poco a little jammed up on coins, but is able to get the heal. Had a lot of good options there. Still a little bit low on life. Needs to find some more chains quickly to get back into it. Doesn't have a hand that's going to translate into damage, but is going to be able to translate into heat. And that is going to maybe let them get some tempo back. Taking the heat. This hand, no hammers, but does have a heal. So if they can navigate this and keep some whites on board, goes for the 2-chain here to try and get some damage. Does have 5 white, isn't going to be able to match them before Jay can seal the deal.
It's all come down to this.
All right, last round. This could be game point for Idolism J. Going for a chain here, maybe? No. Just taking the ones, trying to get those coins on board. Meanwhile, Poco is looking for a way to set this up. Needs one more something. Not able to find it. Doesn't want to bomb out. Takes the heptagons. Does have The hammer on board. All right, found their way. Oh, and then a stealth hammer from Jay. That's pretty bad. Will they be able? Will Idolism J be able to rebound from this? Shane's gonna help. They gotta find a way to get something going with these coins. They take a... Okay, so they know that they have the coins for it, and they were trying to go for a blindfold to answer back, but ended up not paying attention to the color shifts and sending a heal over. And now it's just a, you know, a small walk for Poco. Although I don't think Poco realizes that they're so close to victory, because it looks like they're trying to set up some kind of complicated chain. Oh, don't bomb out. Okay. Goes with the hammer to make absolutely certain.
Let's put on a show. Quick.
All right, things are starting off. We got a 3-chain from Idolism J. We got Poco working with their 3 coins of their own. Getting a 2-chain. Trying to set up the board. Now has the diamonds necessary to get into a heal. Gets the heal off and is pretty ahead on life. Although they are blindfolded, so it's going to be a little difficult to navigate this and find the right out. But taking that 2-chain, but in order to take that 2-chain, they had to use up the color they needed. But Jay just gave it right back to him. Very good for Poco. Gotta update these scores. Ooh. Very close to the end for Jay. I don't know how they're gonna stay alive in this. They gotta think of something. But yeah, they're not gonna live through that combo. Setting up a 2-chain. Poco just going straight away for the 1-chain. Trying to set something up here. Oh, does not go. Seemingly deliberately doesn't go for the 2-chain there. Going for the quick 1-chains. Doesn't really have anything super swingy in hand. Has a heat, which could be good. Has a feather, which could be good. And is heated as is. Oh, needs to find something. All right. Sets that chain off. Really just got to get rid of these coins. What's next? Another hand that's not like super great, though it does have access to a blind. Going to try and get that blind online, I think. Switches color and is able to get it off. Not at a very big health advantage, but could potentially even that up using the advantage from the blind. Setting up a 2-chain here in order to get the right coins on board. A heal would be really good. But jams themselves. Gets the wrong color. Oh, an opponent's hammer? Or hammering the opponent. Not what you need, and yeah. Jay gets on board, ties it up rounds-wise. Some early chains from Jay. Answered back with some early chains from Poco. Still going for it. Needs to find a way to get this online. Doesn't have the heptagons in order to make that healer, so is probably going to just keep at it, plugging away at these not super useful colors, looking for something, but it's gonna start getting dicey, because without too long, yeah, there was just no other chain that Poco could have made. They do, however, have the coins set up right now that they're pretty safe to go into something like a hammer. And it looks like they can set up the chain into it. And yeah, they're able to get that hammer off. Health is pretty low now. So they can get there with just a few more chains. And setting up another hammer that's going to seal it. Idolism J, down 2 rounds in this winners finals. It's a nice 3-chain to open things up. And looks like they're gonna go for a 2-chain here. Now they, I think, want the heptagons if they want to. Oh, Poco just gave it to him. Ah, but it's because Poco had access to the hammer, and Poco's hammer is gonna be worth more than Jay's healer. Because of the stat differences between Sky and Zeta. But that being said, the healer is still doing work, and Jay is ahead on life, if not by a huge margin. And a blindfold, but Jay is going to go for it, finding the 2-chain, gets it off. Poco having to take a self-tickle, not what you want, but not the worst. Can make things happen here. Is going to be able to get one more coin before the game is just, too far gone. And what is... They're going to try and go for a hammer. Hammer could be really big here, but they aren't able to get it, and they take the tickle instead. The hammer would have been good, but Jay got, another healer going, so I think they actually would have lived through it regardless. And then that 2-chain is going to seal the deal. And now we go into the last round. Ooh. Slow start from Jay. Poco getting these coins on board, looking for... Ooh, I don't know if that's... Well, maybe it was, because that was... Oh, it was very, very close. And a blindfold from Jay there is going to give... This is 3 out of 5 because we're at winners finals now. Health is relatively even. Poco is ahead on coins. So Poco, yeah, getting the blindfold here is pretty big. That's going to give Poco the time necessary to widen this gap and, really ensure their way in. Jay staying alive. I think they got a heal. So the gap, it's again, evened up a little bit. Poco can make this 2-chain here. Oh, but that hammer is really big. But that 4-chain is really big. Just needs one more. Oh, that is the photo finish. But Poco takes that. And it's going to go up to... I don't know if they realize it's 3 out of 5.
Welcome to Flick Club. Let's go.
Alright, while they're getting back in, I'm gonna see if I can't get this crop to be a little bit closer to accurate.
Flick to the maximum. Flick.
All right, see a bit more of the screen now. Okay. Back in here. A little bit even, slight advantage to Poco. That advantage is widening. Jay doesn't have the purples on board to make that heal, so is probably going to have to take something else. Or hope that Poco ends up going on clubs for some reason. But Poco is not going to have like too much reason to give Jay that. Oh, perfectly timed! Poco was going for a chain, which was going to deny Jay the opportunity, and Jay found it, but it wasn't enough because of that hammer coming right after. Oh my god, so much damage. Now here we go. Jay setting up the 2-chain, and then has maybe some good follow-up here. Another 2-chain. Getting ahead on damage, getting ahead on coins. Keeping that lead up. Ooh, on a hammer. Oh, very strong start from Idolism J. Poco is going to have to get faster than this if they want to even it up. So things have evened out. Poco, it looks like, is going to try and just take the tickle. Right after a big clear like that, the tickle, not always the best. Jay is going to be able to sort of reassess the board here. Is under heat, though, which makes this a little bit more tense. And going for the bump spike into the healer, timing it right after they know that Poco has gone for that 3-chain. So they delay just slightly, or it was a 2-chain rather. They delay just slightly so that their bump spike does not get interrupted. Very smart. Something that you can do, you know, a way to play around your opponent's board without actually having to look at it. If you're familiar enough with the audio cues of where your opponent is at in kind of their rhythm, you can use that as a way to time your own stuff to either try and jam them up without really like knowing what you're going to be jamming them with, but you know, hey, maybe it's good, or prevent yourself from getting too jammed up. Okay, Poco going with all of these chains has 6 on board, 6 points, 7 points on board, kind of backed up there, and just clears it out with a tickle. Has a real good hand this time though. 2 ways to get into hammer. Doesn't have the immediate way to get on board with it, but just combos in to get that hammer set up, and this is a lot of damage. Jay takes a self tickle that's really not ideal, and is gonna get maybe 1 more coin if they live long enough. Oh, the 4-chain is definitely gonna help even it out, but they gotta get there fast because just 1 clear and they're dead, and that's it. Now Poco on potentially set point. It's real quick 1-chain there, and and another a 2-chain rather. Jay trying to find something, gets has gotten a few chains, getting the coins on board. Gonna probably try and find a way to hammer this out. And jammed up by the by Poco messing with the colors here, but Poco isn't able to convert into a hammer because their board is just a little too messy. Doesn't quite have what they need. Going for I think they're trying to set up a chain into the okay. They found the hammer after the tickle. It was a little crusty both boards, but they were able to assess it and see what they got. And then a nice what was that? A 3-chain, 4-chain, some chain. Heats are on board. It's not going to end up mattering because they just need a little bit of damage, and they've taken it. That was nice. That was clean. And Poco advances.
Welcome to Flight Club.
So now we're going to have the losers semis match, Boats and Joes versus Dr. Science.
Let's go.
All right, and Jay is unmuted.
Oh my fucking god! Oh, that was the hardest Flick Club I've ever played in my life. GG's to Poco. I thought that was 2 out of 3, and I thought that was the greatest 2 out of 3 set this game has ever seen. And then tragically, it turns out it was not a 2 out of 3 set. I'm very happy there's no one in the house right now because I was screaming at the end of that 2 out of 3. And it was really, and just like, you know, being a good competitive player, it's hard to come back after that and be like, oh god, I have to play more.
Yeah, you're in losers finals, so you got no chance.
I never want to be in another fucking 3 out of 5 in this game again. It's so
well, you're gonna be in another 3 out of 5.
I know, but it's so mentally draining. It's so hard to do. This is such an intense game. There's no way to get this across unless you are playing it competitively with people. But it's so intense to keep mentally sharp in this game and not misplay and know what's going on.
Yeah, puzzle games in general, I feel like are like that. Some people will do like, I think the tournament standard for Tetris is like 4 out of 7 for some reason.
Oh Jesus!
It's like insane, yeah. So much that like mental energy that you have to put in. I think, especially for this game, it's like, oh man.
It's rough. So is Dr. Science player 1?
Dr. Science is player 2.
Okay, so Joe has decided to move off of the Elin.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Joe's setting up for the 1+2. Oh, actually, it's 4-chain. Wow. Big damage.
Yeah. Into
the hammer. Oh my god, the hammer just instantly ends it.
Yeah. The way that this game does damage is that you won't die until a combo ends. So if you kill your opponent by like doing a huge combo on them to style, it is actually bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and I have lost games because you do a big combo at the very end, and then your opponent just does like 3 1-chains in a row, and they can kill you before your combo ends.
Yeah.
But if you do a hammer, it'll apply that damage instantly, I believe. So in your combo, if you have a hammer and it kills, then I think it ends right there. Although if you kill someone with the hit that was a heal, like if you self-heal them on the final hit, they will die.
Yeah.
So it'll apply that damage.
There we go. Joe had to pivot away from his teal chain set up into a coin because it would have been a opponent heal, and he did so magnificently. Still got the hammer out, got the like 2-chain afterwards. Like really, really smart plays from Joe right now.
Yeah. I wonder if Joe is just like salty about losing to Poco's Sky and is like, you know what? I'm just gonna be Sky.
Yeah, I mean it's real. Yeah, Poco Sky, mad good.
Yep.
I had them up against the ropes, but was not able to finish it off.
Sky is such a swingy character when you get good specials, and you do sometimes run into hands where you can't convert the specials in it, and you need to be able to like look at it and be like, oh yeah, I can turn this board into, like right now Joe has to find a way to get into the heal, probably is what they want, but they need to do that somehow. Like they don't have the pieces for it here.
Yeah,
so they either have to create a chain that'll do it, or settle for something else, which is what it looks like, or just make more clears and get a little jammed up on point.
You can tell when you're playing against a Sky if the tempo feels like you are behind or ahead of the ball a little bit, because you can definitely you can feel like I'm not doing so hot, but I'm still winning because the Sky is logged, or I'm kind of doing really good, but I'm losing because the Sky is everything's coming up Millhouse.
And like right now, having to take that like self blind, I think it was real not great for Joe.
Yeah, it was a self blind. They got a 2-chain out of it, but like after that, it was a little rough.
Yeah, when you take like self hits as Sky, it's a lot more punishing, both because you have the higher opportunity cost where you're like, you could have been doing a lot to your opponent if that was like a good special, and you miss out on or it lasts longer on yourself because you're Sky.
Yes. Yeah, which is really important in that case, because even though Joe was able to 2-chain off while under blindfold, that shit still lasted for a while.
Yeah.
So like the 2-chain's cool and all, but you're still gonna be there for a while trying to at least just scramble. And you don't know what your board state's gonna look like after 2-chaining under blindfold, because you don't know what lands underneath it.
Yeah. Oh, this is a nice setup for Joe. Just has to make sure that Dr. Science cannot, prevent it. Which I think Bill saw it and rushed to try and do it, but just wasn't fast enough. And it's hard to do that fast.
And Bill's swamped right now in terms of coins. Had to get rid of him.
Yeah, but is in like a pretty good state here.
It's not bad.
Or was. Still pretty good. Can make something happen.
Took another hammer though. Took another hammer.
Yeah, not ideal. And just taking these hits. Can try and just chain it out and hope to out damage Sky, but not able to make it happen fast enough. The Boats and Joe's is going to go up 1.
Leave it all on the floor. Quick.
Joe looking to find the 3-chain here, and yeah, does get it. There's a slight a 4-chain actually. There's a slight optimization you can make with chains, which is that they take longer if they are like more stages to them. So if you have 2 that clear simultaneously, they sort of like share a clear animation, and that lets you make more chains faster. So ideally you want to have your stuff set up with that like 1 into 2 for the ideal speed. Although I believe it does not make a damage difference in this version of the game.
Oh, okay. Ooh, good 2-chain. Oh, sorry. Good 2-chain out Joe. Oh, sorry. Mentally defeated.
Yeah.
Does set up the hammer combo properly.
Yeah.
And it looks like he just needs one. He just needs one to polish this off. I don't think he realizes he only needs 1. He's setting up for a 3-chain, and if he dies from this, it'll be funny, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
It was definitely possible. He could have died from sitting around dicking with that 3-chain.
Yeah. Going from playing Elin to playing Sky has got to be like a bit confusing on your like mental track of where health is.
I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah, because you really have to be like on the ball in terms of Like, oh, you know, I got the hammer, so I'm ahead by like a 3 chain, basically. But other than that, like, I know for me, a lot of times when I play, I'm not necessarily paying attention to the health bars. I'll look at them if I get a chance, but I just kind of track based on, like, I know how much damage I'm doing.
Yeah, as a Zeta player, I will get good hands towards, I'm kind of a on-off of, like, do I have a viable way to get to hammer? Yes. Then I'll try and build towards it. If not, I will just try to rapidly 2-chain to keep myself in tempo.
Yeah.
And it's hard. That character offers me, you know, that well-roundedness offers me the ability to kind of switch back and forth between, am I setting up or am I just keeping tempo? Whereas going from Elin, which is the tempo character, to Skye, which is the setup character, I could not imagine.
Yeah. That heat was really good, and Joe dealt with it really well. He was a little jammed up on, like, finding where the chain was without accidentally setting off a bad special, and then got heated at a really bad moment, because heat doesn't reset your timer. If you get heated in kind of like the middle of your setup, it can be like really, really bad, where you're in a kind of dangerous situation where you can accidentally set off your chain, and like that might leave you in a really bad spot, depending on like how big your chain, you know, what's your setup is.
Yeah, nice 2+1 out of Joe. I think that's the interesting thing about heat, is that heat is, as a offensive attack, usually pretty inefficient, but the times where it is efficient is almost devastating.
Yeah, it can win you the entire game.
Yeah, it's very interesting in that way, because bombing someone out, you win the rounds, and like you win the round instantly, and you can win the round very quickly. So it's very hard to plan for that, but if you can, and if you can get it off, that's crazy powerful. It's, you know, the most powerful effect you could get out of a card, debatably, because you can win the game off of it.
Right. But yeah, it's also one that when your opponent knows it's on, they have a way to effectively play around it. And, you know, that can be helpful to you in the sense that you force them to play around with it, or play around it, but it's not always the optimal way. And the self-heat here is not great, but Joe is so close that I think it's going to be okay. Just get this 2-chain, and is that enough? No, one more.
One more. Does Joe realize this one more? There we go. Gets it with the coin.
Just takes it with the coin. When you have one more, taking it with a coin is like a thing that is kind of hard to put yourself in the mindset of. Because you always want to make sure you get the highest value off the coins, and that you're not fucking yourself over with the coins. But like when you just need one more, it doesn't matter if you fuck yourself over.
Yeah, it's the ending play. It doesn't matter. Great 2+1.
Yeah, good opener.
I need to start thinking about setting 2+1s way more.
Ooh.
It's like I can feel it now, like coming into my brain a little bit more. Like, ooh, here's a potential, but like I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. Bill almost bombed out, but was able to get a 2-chain at the last second. I think Bill's trying to set up into that blind and just kind of got screwed off of it, and now it doesn't have a good board to make anything really, but now found a way to get to the heal, and then just then Joe switches it off the color. And Bill has so many coins. I think he does not have another out. He needs to take what he gets. As soon as he makes the clear and says, fuck it, I'm just gonna self-heat, Joe gives him the healer. And then a self-hammer.
Bonk. Self-bonk.
Yeah, the health is actually very even here. Until Joe gets this heal. But it's still, like, not the worst.
No, he can still come back from this.
Yeah, he just needs to get a good special off somehow. There's definitely a way that he can get there with what he has, but it's a bit, it was a bit out of the way. And Boats and Joes is going to take semis and go on into losers finals.
Oh god, okay, can I get a bad break before?
Yeah, sure. We'll cut away to an ad.
Was that 1-1 or is that 1-0?
It was 2-0.
2, okay. Alright, so yeah, alright, there, yeah. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
bathroom,
I'm
drink
also
water.
gonna step away for a bit. So everyone at home, viewers at home, while we wait for losers finals to start, you can take a look at Mallory.
Dancing Mel.
Let's go.
Okay, I will connect in, and then, goodness. Okay, well, I'm player 2.
All right, I'm back, and we are back. Cut in here. No, they're good to start. And I will fix Luke.
Let's get it on. Flick. Uh-oh.
Score here. Alright, so no one has picked Luke yet, so I haven't talked about him, but Luke is very similar excuse me, very similar to Sky in terms of stat line. Luke has a half point. Joe almost bombing out. Luke has a half point in special that changes things a little bit and makes him a little bit less swingy than Sky, but still in the same ballpark. And we Idolism J is like a lot ahead, both in terms of damage and coins. Trying to find a way to get the heal off, and now even more ahead on damage. But Joe gets a hammer and immediately evens things up. So that is going to be pretty significant going in for... Joe just needs another... Yeah, needs to find a way to get into something, and goes for a blindfold. Or sets up a blindfold, rather. And the blindfold is on. Jay is still ahead on damage, and has a way to get into hammer, I believe. Yeah. But hard to find that within the confines of the blindfold. They're going to chain in here to set up the hammer, and then Joe switches the color at the last second. That might not be enough. It is not. But yeah, those blindfolds really came in clutch. The one that was purposeful on Joe's part, and the one that was... I mean, maybe they were both purposeful. The second one that was Jay self-blindfolding. I apologize if there's weird background noises. For me, my cat is rooting through something. Alright. Jay with a pretty good hand here, and it looks like Jay is going to try and set this up into a 2-chain. That was a little risky on Jay's part. Could tell that Joe was going for a chain, but just had faith that it wasn't going to be a 3-chain. And Joe ahead on damage here with that hammer. Has access to another hammer, which could be really huge. Sets it up and really needs this color to not change, and it does not. Jay a little too slow on the draw on that chain, and now that's a huge life lead that is going to be hard to get past, especially when you have to spend your coins on a self-tickle right there. Oh, and Jay has fucked himself. Gone for a 2-chain, but set it up with a club on either end, so no matter which way he moved it, it would have ruined it. Going into round 3, Joe is looking to set something good up here. Sets up a 3-chain, potentially a 4-chain? No, just a 3-chain. Then take the 1 here, and that sets up for 4 coins, which could lead to a hammer, but doesn't have the emblems necessary to make it. Jay, meanwhile, puts the heat on and gets the pressure going with some damage. Joe is going to set up a heat of his own, which is going to last for a while because of Luke's high special stat, but Jay is going to play through it. And a hammer answered back with a hammer keeps the life pretty even. Okay, Discord is being a little screwy. Jay going for the 2-chain and takes it. Oh man, that was so close.
Show me what you got.
Next game. to the 2-chain. Setting things up. The Jay's hand is good. Has a lot of ways to get into blind. So I imagine that's what he's gonna end up going for. And yeah, it goes into that. Tries to set up a 2-chain, maybe a 3-chain. Setting up the 2-chain. Ooh, didn't that was the right call. It appears, since the 3-chain might have gotten feathered away. But as it is, with the 2-chain getting feathered, not the biggest tempo loss. Joe is trying to find a way into hammers, and at just the last second, Jay is able to switch that around into a self-tickle, and that's going to be really huge. So at this point, Joe has spent 2 of his coins on a tickle to Jay, which didn't do much in terms of tempo, and a self-tickle, which definitely didn't hurt Jay at all. Still in this. Oh, and the hammer. That's huge. That's exactly what he needed. Jay just needs one more, though. Sees it and goes for it. Oh, a photo finish if ever there was one.
Welcome to Flick Club.
Jay gets on board, and Joe is going to switch back to Elin. Good old faithful. This is 3 out of 5.
Crank up the heat. Flick. Uh-oh.
All right, some good early matches going. Joe, board is a little weird. It was a little swampy with heptagons. Found a way out of it. Jay is in a pretty good spot. Just needs to go into the heels and then cash it out. Doesn't get to cash out on the heel, but gets to cash out on a hammer, which is just as good. Now, ooh, that's a huge chain from Joe, and that is going to be a huge advantage that I don't know if Jay's going to be able to come out of. But ooh, that heel is going to help. Just needs to find the out. Hope that Joe doesn't find too many chains. I think Jay is dead to a 2. Well, was maybe dead to a 2-chain. Definitely just dead to one more.
Show me what you got.
That huge chain from Joe really coming in clutch. Going here for Joe not able to find the chains here, but is maybe able to find it here. It's 2 simultaneous, a simultaneous clear, if you will, and then taking those pinks to go for the hammer. Has the other pinks on standby if need be. Also, the blues would have done it. Jay going for a heat. That's going to slow down Joe, who is still trying to make the chains happen and wasn't able to make them happen fast enough. You can't play so fast and loose with them like that.
Flick. Uh-oh.
Joe setting up a 2-chain, but a little slow on the uptake here. Jay is matching pace. It's a heel. It's another 2-chain. Joe with the heel. A lot happening. Jay's hand is not ideal. No hammer, no heel. The heat and the feather can be good, but kind of situational, and ended up taking I'm not sure what he ended up taking. Was that a feather? Joe with the heal. That's pretty big. The life lead is not huge at the moment. Jay can certainly make something happen with these coins. Goes for the chain there in order to maintain the color so that he can get the heal off, and now he's got the life lead. Then take this 2 chain. That's pretty good. Making it happen. All right, and Jay's got real good hand here if he can see what the fuck he's doing. But oh man, it's real crusty. Just takes 1 with the coin, but that is gonna put Joe back on tempo, and really just needs 1, maybe 2. All right, one more will do it. Does he know it? Goes for a chain. That's a little risky. Okay, makes it. If Joe had a hammer there, or had started a chain at that same time, it could have been real bad, but didn't want to take any chances on misreading the health. Just go for the 2 chain. Joe setting up a 3 chain here. Ooh, a 5 chain actually. My mistake. Now setting another 3 chain up. This is pretty risky. It's gonna put him real low on what is available, but ends up on the heat, so not too bad. And Jay's got to watch out. Okay, gets the 3 chain set up while under heat. Nice. Now, it still needs to find a way to make something happen with these. Ooh, okay. Joe gives Jay the blind, but I don't think it's going to be that impactful because Joe is also really ahead on life. So unless Jay really, really picks up the pace here, I think this round is maybe decided. This could do it. I mean, Jay's got to find a way to get that hammer off, and he's not going to be able to get one. Joe's going to take that round pretty convincingly. Nice 3 chain, open things up, and a nice 2 chain from Jay to keep things going. Jay's got a great hand lined up here. Joe's hand is not bad either. Although, if he doesn't get the coins right away, yeah, he doesn't have a way to force in that hammer unless that RNG gave him something. But it was just going to give him the coins. So if Jay can swap this... Oh, swapped it to a hammer. That's kind of exactly what he wanted. Ooh, yeah, okay. Still takes the hammer. And because of that, Joe is going to maintain the health advantage. And got to clear away a lot of those coins. He's going to set up here into the heptagons. And yeah, has to take a self-hammer because he just doesn't have a lot of outs. Oh no, is Jay forced to take the... No, okay. Finds a way out with the feather and gives Joe a little tickle. To fuck up his board. Oh, trying to find... Can't find the chain here. That heal is really good. Oh, does he see it? Okay, okay. Saw it in time. Got the heal off. Stays in the game. And needs, I think, like 2 more chains. But is blindfolded. And will die to the 3 chain. Ooh. Very close. Nice clutch save from Boats and Joe's. The Elin swap working out. Alright, and we've got Idolism Jay going back to character select. Take a second, reassess everything. It's 1-1. It's not the end of the world here. And certainly make it happen. Going for the 2-chain, setting up the coins. Ooh, and Joe gave him the healer that he wanted, but Joe was doing the 5-chain. I don't think Jay wanted that, but we'll see how it's all stacking up. Pretty even. Elin does have a higher, or I guess their health pools are the same actually, but Elin does a little bit more damage, so even life is an Elin advantage. Jay cannot find the out. He was in a situation where his only clear, I think, was to get coins, and wasn't gonna be on a spot where the coins were good, so just really didn't want to make the coin clear, and then ended up bombing out, searching for any other out. Yeah, this game is so good. It's real great. It's nice. It's fast. It's very like, there's a lot of different vectors that you can improve your play on. So if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, it's good in that way too. Very like kind of addictive in that way, but in a good way. And Jay setting things up here. He's on the defensive a little bit, back into a corner, low health, but he's got the coins going. If he can figure out a way to make this hammer go off, he can get something going. He can definitely do it here. It's possible. Ooh, he took the coins. I don't know if he meant to do that or if that was because of the blindfold, but either way, it worked out well. Cleared those coins away, got the heal. Gets stuck in here. Takes a 2-chain. Takes a 1-chain. Has the coins up. Goes for the heat. I don't know if the heat's going to be super impactful at this point in the game. Gets hammered. Everything's very, very close. Anyone's game. Goes for a 2-chain. But that's not going to be enough. Needs like one more. Oh my god. Gets wiped out by a big long chain that Joe is able to make while under heat. Crazy play. And Jay, flustered from that, trying to work his way back in. You gotta find it. He's gotta make a reverse 3-0 happen here to stay in. It's not game point for Joe yet, but being up 2 is nice. How do people plan huge chains? If you look on my YouTube, there is a video that can give you a chain primer that covers up to 3 chains, I believe. It might have a little info that's outdated now that, like in terms of how damage works, because that's been changed, but the basics of how chains work is the same. Oh man, Joe is on such a fat life lead here. There's like no... I have no idea how Jay would take it back, but I mean he's got the coins for it that are nice, but that's not it. Okay, he's got Alright, Joe up 2 against Idolism Jay's 1. Making the comeback. He's got the hot streak. He's warmed up. The download is complete. Oh man, that hand is killer too. Both these hands are killer. Yeah, if you know at all how to like do speed cubing stuff, a lot of concepts transfer. It's sort of like a 2-dimensional cube in a way. You know how a square is like a 2-dimensional cube? What the fuck did I just say? We have some concepts from cubing carry over if you know anything about cubing. I've done like a little bit of cubing, so I know a little baby amount. And of course the goal in this is very different from fully solving a Rubik's Cube. It's not quite as intense. But some of the same ideas of not wanting to mess up layers. Oh, a bomb! Oh my god. Rough. It's always so rough when you come from like a really good, like, dominating round and then you just can't find anything. And you end up bombing out. Oh man. Poco, are you sweating? I thought you were the bracket demon. Oh. Something's going here. Oh my god, that heat was killer! Holy shit! Oh, the last second heat to oh man.
This match is getting
To force that bomb out. Damn. Oh, Idolism J pulling out all the stops. Apologies for any moment where the screen transitions to just a close-up of Mallory. I have to capture Parsec via display capture, so it if that happens, it shifts to my background, which at the moment is that picture of Mallory that Heptagon drew. But oh man, Jay is in here fighting for his life. Life's looking a little low. Hand's not looking super spicy. Can he find it out? Oh my god, he finds a way to get the healer, get a little bit of damage going. This hand looking a little bit nicer. He can get some hammers going. He can get some heats going. Oh my god, if he can repeat that killer heat, but I don't. Oh, it doesn't look like he's gonna be able to. The round is just gonna end too soon. Gets a double going. The hammer is live. Can he get to it in time? No. Whew. There was definitely a line that he could have done with comboing the hammer into a little bit more to guarantee. But, oh man. You really had to bank on some things there. Hammer going in. Jay's sitting on a life lead. Oh, that combo is gonna do something. Yeah, definitely viewers at home, if you can get some Malort, that's the ideal pairing for this. If you can get some Malort, if it's legal for you to drink it, and you know, if you always drink responsibly. Oh, that's a really unfortunate self-hammer, and Jay is so close. Ooh, I don't know if he realizes how close he is though, because he can't always pay attention. There's the 2-chain. Is that okay? Oh. Whew. Jay taking it 2-2.
Let's put on a show.
We are going into the final game of this losers finals. Absolutely fucking insane match. Jay finding these chains, getting coins on board. Looking to combo, I think, into... Okay, no, he's gonna combo into the whites to get the blind up? Oh no, but he can't do it. Yeah, that combo took his 2 best options. Ooh, but Joe gifts him the hammer, trying to get the heal himself, which he does get off, but that Jay's hammer is going to do a little bit more damage than Joe can heal due to the character stat differences. And now Jay can set up here something with the heptagons, perhaps. Ooh, nice 3-chain. And ends up a self-heal or a self-heat. I think saw at that moment that like ooh, it could have been good, but ooh, chain kept going. Oh no, needs to find something to stay alive. All right, is in this. Oh man, and Jay had been playing so well, but you know Joe was not far behind, and that heat has really, I think, flustered Jay, and he's not been able to get much. And then Joe gets the hammer, and that's it. Oh my god. We're in here now. Ooh. Jay setting up a 3-chain. Going for it. More 3-chain setup? Or that was Joe who set up the 3-chain. I'm getting all mixed here. Jay setting up the bump spike into the hammer. Bring the hammer down. Joe healing it right back up into a 3-chain. That is so huge. Getting the damage to swing that gap over and recover the life to keep in the lead. And he's still in the lead. And it's looking like he can set up. He has the pieces on board in order to set up another healer. Doesn't get it guaranteed, but can get the coins here. And Jay is going to go ahead and set it up. Ooh, Joe didn't take it. I don't know if that was an accident or what. No, he wanted the heat. He wanted the heat. He wanted to snipe Jay, but Jay did not take the snipe, although now he's in a scary spot. The 3-chain will do it, though. Oh, very close. Very close. A cheeky little heat there. Oh, if he hadn't have gone for it, if he had gone for the heal, he might have stayed alive, but he got greedy. Trying to set up the chain, not accidentally blow it up. It gets the 3-chain, Boats and Joe's. But Idolism J coming with back-to-back 2-chains. Can set up a hammer here or a blindfold. Oh, the color gets switched at the last second. Ends up tickling. That's no good. Oh, what do we got here? Joe setting up another 3-chain, a 4-chain, a 5-chain. Whew. Jay going for the 2-chain. Backs against the wall here. Goes for a tickle while Joe is blindfolded. That's huge. Isn't able to do anything under that blindfold. And now it still has to get his bearings because what even are these pieces? Where do they come from? Oh, narrowly avoids the bomb with that 1-chain. Doesn't want to bomb out a second time. That would be embarrassing. Go. Ooh. Jay staying alive on just a hair. Isn't able to find a way into the hammer. That hammer would have been huge. Would have probably taken the game, taken the set, but, or not taken the set, rather. But now, Boats and Joe's is on game point, is on set point. Anything that can swing this is going to be huge, and Joe is going with the 3-chain. Already has 1 coin on board, so the coins are live. But, can he? He's going to set up a guaranteed... No, not a guaranteed hammer, because his emblems are on the wrong side. I was talking about that earlier. When the game checks for emblems for a simultaneous clear, if you have a coin on board, it checks top to bottom, and it checks left to right. And Joe is going to bomb out after that because of that self-heat. Got the clears in the wrong order. Oh my god. So crazy. Going for the 3-chain, trying to open strong. Doesn't want a terrible repeat of last time. Has a similar situation. Doesn't go for the 3-chain. Doesn't believe in it. Actually, changes the colors on himself, too. Trying to set up a... Oh, that's another simultaneous. It's not going to work. He's going to get heated. Whew. Is going to be able to set up... No, just goes for the 2-chain. Keep it simple. Underheat. Joe is fighting for his life here. He does have the health advantage, but man, his coins have not been landing his way. And the life advantage is slipping away. Jay can take it. He just needs to find some ways to get the 2-chain, puts him on board. Joe, another bomb out. Jay is gonna take it off the back of, what was that, 3 bomb outs across all of those sets. Just keeping pressure on, using heats in really good spots. Wow. That's crazy. Jay is gonna stay in. I'm gonna reset the score here. And Idolism J in losers is gonna go up against Poco in winners. I believe Poco stepped away. Oh no, is getting right in here. And this is gonna be the grand finals. 3 out of 5. Jay is going to need to find a way to reset this bracket if he wants to take it. Got Idolism J in losers. Poco in winners. But, you know, both these players are winners in the grand scheme of things. Being able to go this far in the bracket. And Poco is P2. I set up these names wrong. We'll swap this. All right, should be good. Let me bring that back a little bit. Things starting out strong. We've got Poco setting up a number, trying to set up some coins on board. We saw this is, you know, the run back from winners finals. We saw this play out one way. We'll see if we can see it play out another way. Ugh, that is not the heal that Jay wanted, and gets hammered for his trouble. Oh man, this is not ideal, you know. As a member of Jepson's FGC, you know, getting hammered always on brand, but not in this context. And here we go. Life has evened up. The blind is going to be pretty big, but if Jay can find his way through it, he can navigate through the blindfold. He's got another clear lined up pretty much in the visible area. It wasn't the worst, but he is pretty behind on life. So it's going to be hard to make the comeback unless he can really get something going. He's going to go for the blindfold here to try and jam up Poco, but Poco really only needs like 2 clears, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. But Poco is not going to be able to find anything across that whole blindfold, but Jay is going to be able to do enough damage within the blindfold to take it over Poco, and just a few clears is going to do it. Poco walks away with round 1. Now going into round 2, setting up a 2-chain, it looks like. Jay also setting up a 2-chain. Both players relatively even on life. I think it looks like Poco is slightly ahead because of that clear. And then another 2-chain. Jay looking to get ahead with a chained healer, but because the blind isn't able to find the coins that he needed and is gonna have to take this going into a heat, is gonna put the heat on Poco. Oh, but Poco changes it at the last second. Now Jay does not have a setup for it, but does find another way to get the heal off. But at this point, Poco is so ahead on life that Jay is still gonna need some help, but hey, that heat does it for him. Puts enough pressure on Poco that the bomb out happens, and Jay is able to move up. And Poco, you know, he's gotta be able to play through those heats because Jay is got a lot of access to him in this hand, let me tell you. Unless things go real bad, it looks like Jay is going to be able to find a way to fire off a heat one way or another. And Poco gets a heat on Jay and gets Jay to fire off a self-tickle, I think. So, not scared by without getting heated. Jay's got access to a hammer here, but only if he can navigate through the, his board while heated and takes a self-tickle. Isn't able to get really any advantage off of his coins this whole match. Just too put under too much pressure by Poco. Poco setting up a hammer, and that's going to seal it. Two very nice rounds from Poco after that one early bomb out. Going in the next game, Jay is going to try and set up a chain here. Can get a 3-chain going, but is not going to go for it and just take the 2-chain. Not try to find a way for the 3-chain because, you know, you got to stay alive. Man, being this behind on tempo, this behind on life is maybe going to be very costly for Jay going into it here. Setting things up. Poco's really ahead on coins. Looks like Poco is trying to find a way into... Yes, and gets that combo going into the hammer. That is such a huge advantage. I don't know how Jay is going to be able to come back. He's got access to a healer, but even then the life lead is going to be major. Poco gets a point on board. Jay cutting it kind of close, but coming away with a clutch 5-chain. Whew. That's a lot of damage. Gets him right into a coin, putting the heat on. And that might be enough to keep Poco from going too wild. Poco putting the heat on Jay. Jay still able to find a 2-chain here. And now just needs to kind of stay alive to stick it out through. Goes for a chain into another heat. Gonna keep the heat on Poco. Keep Poco from being able to, like, set up a truly ideal chain. But Poco is gonna try and get the heal off. Gets the heal off. Jay able here to set up maybe a blind. Maybe a heal of his own. Yeah, the Them's Fighting Herd skills really transferring across games. Seeing it from Poco. And a big chain. Jay is really on the back burner here. What can he do? He's got to find something. It's definitely not impossible, but not likely. And Poco takes that round. Poco has the momentum going. Jay maybe a little exhausted from those really, really tense games with Boats and Joes. And the winner here is going to get enough for a bottle of Malort, which, you know, what more could you ask for a motivator? Ooh, nice 3 chain, but it's a 3 chain that ends with being blindfolded and there's a heat on. Not super ideal. Not the ideal space, but is still able to walk away with a life lead from that. Ooh, not anymore. Oh, what a hammer. Poko now with the open board can set up any chain, and this hand is looking really fucking good. Oh man. Set up here. Just needs a little bit. Get the coins on board. Now needs to find a way to chain into those coins. Jay really stepped it up and picked up the pace, but yeah, you can't. Oh, the heal from Sky really puts the icing on the cake of that round, you know? All right, Jay setting up the 2 chain here. Could make a 3 chain. No, just gonna take the 2, not waste the time on making the 3 chain. Set up another 2 chain with the heptagons and the clubs. Nice, nice, nice. Ooh, setting things up here. All right, wasn't able to like get a good coin going, so didn't take it. Just gonna take the tickle here to try and get some tempo, but Poko has the life lead. He's gonna continue to have the life lead here, and now has coins set up. Can have a healer online if they go for the 3 chain. Not gonna go for the 3 chain, just gonna try and get a hammer online. Widen that gap another way, and ooh. Gonna be really hard to make it back when you're under the heat, when you've been hammered. There's a healer that's maybe possible, but it's a long walk to get to those coins, you know? But Poko almost bombed out there. Oof. Just taking the hammer, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it and then some, you know? Mashing on rematch. Wants to get right back into it. Poko now. Poko wins this game. They win the set. Going hard here, trying to set it up. Got the they don't have the emblems to make the hammer happen, but they do have the emblems to make the heat happen, and the heat is gonna put pressure on Jay and keep Jay looking for something. Oh, okay. Found the 2 chain under the heat. Still able to stay in, not dead to their own hubris. And another 2 chain here. Also almost cutting it close. And Poko trying to find a way to get the hammer going. Just tries to 1 clear it. And Jay also finding a hammer, but Poko staying alive with the bigger hammer. Heal is online, but unnecessary because just the 2 chain into the self tickle will take that.
Leave it all on the floor. Click.
You know, it is possible to self tickle yourself into a board state where you then continue the chain. It's also possible if you stack 2 coin clears, you can get like a 2 times effective move. Call that a double power up, you know, a DP or a double impact maybe. Jay putting up a good fight in terms of, you know, how quickly he can get these clears off, but Poko with the Sky specials just up on life the whole game. Ooh, the self hammer is really huge. That has completely negated Poko's life lead, and now Jay is 100% back in the game with hammers online. If they can find it, they're going for a 1 clear here to get a healer instead and go for a chain for a little bit of extra damage. putting everything back online. They can go for a chain here, and that could potentially set up for a blind if things stay. Music kicking up the intensity, and gets a 3 chain to take it.
This match is getting icy.
Yeah, shoutouts to the Parsec gods for not cursing us too much. There was a little kerfuffle early, but since then things have been going pretty smooth. Yeah, Jay really pulled it out that last game. It was nuts. It was major. See if they can repeat it. Gets the heat on. Now has access to hammer and heal in this hand, and Poco also has access to hammer and heal, the same options, though a little bit more of them, because they've also got access to a tech. And we'll see what can happen here. Poco's got to find something to go online. That hammer is good if it doesn't change. Just a hair too slow on Jay's part, and now Poco's got a big lead, and Jay's got to find a way to get past it. Is going to try and set up a combo, it looks like. Awkward combo. I think wanted to end on the heal, but instead was stuck on opponent hammer, and had an opportunity to hammer, but I think maybe didn't realize that the color had shifted. And Poco is going to take that round. Poco now threatening the entire tournament on this one round. Ooh. Strong back and forth. Things are relatively even. Poco doesn't have a super swingy hand. A blind is good. Jay has access to some healers here. A heat is also pretty good. If Jay can't find it, okay, has to take this chain, has the 2 chain to stay in it. The healer is online. That's a good life lead. The heat is still on, is still active. Gets hammered. That's going to even things back up. Jay's going to take the 2 chain, try and wrestle the life lead back. And Poco matching pace. Both players really even. Looking for something, looking for a hammer on Jay's part. This is going to give Jay the emblems necessary, but not the colors necessary. So Jay is going to have to do a little bit of legwork in order to get things back online. The whites are going to set up for a heal, and Jay, with those chains, is ahead on life. Poco could potentially come back with a healer, but will have to find a way to get to those coins first, and has the coins active now, but Jay is able to scoop it up with a really quick 1 chain, just get the damage on board, just get the round under the belt, going in to the final round of this potentially game-ending, match-ending, tournament-ending set on Poco's side. Poco needs to find a way to win it, but Jay has been looking really fucking nice this whole set, and is trying to just like claw his way back onto the board. Gets the blind. That's major. Poco isn't going to be able to set things up as nicely. Gets stuff on board. Gets the chain going. Jay has potential access to a heal now, and is setting it up under the blind. Gets the heal going. That's major. That's so major. Poco does have access to the hammers in this hand. Can make it happen, but is going to have to... Oh, man. An ugly clear on that part. Almost had the chain, but not quite. Does get the colors going, so gets the hammer going. If Poco can make some chains happen here, can get some damage on board quickly, but Jay is going to be able to heal and say, no. I do not want to lose this life lead. Because it is a huge life lead, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting less meaningful that the life lead is closer. Because as the chains come down, and just 1 more to take it, the hammer is clutch, but not... The game is just too far towards the end at that point. So Jay puts himself on the board, stays alive in this grand final set. Poco looking to take an early lead, but not able to quite find it. Has access to heal on board if they can find a way to get the clears happen right. It's maybe there. No, they're gonna go for a hammer instead. They're going aggressive. Jay, under a bit of a life deficit now, has to find a way through. Goes for a heat. You know, maybe snipe it out. Maybe just put Poco into some bad situations off of miscalculated moves. Poco goes for a self-heat. That's no good. Refreshing the timer on that baby. And it's just going to be stuck under heat for this whole game at this point. Gotta find the out. Gotta find the out. Alright. Stays alive. Still under heat because of that Sky special stat. Jay has clawed that life lead back. It's very, very close, but the game is almost over. And when the game is almost over, your life lead doesn't necessarily mean that much if you can't get to a point where you can make it matter. You know, do some chains, get some damage on board. Poco finds a healer a few chains ago, and that is gonna bring that life lead right back. And now Jay is just not gonna be able to get the damage fast enough. Alright, things going back. Jay looking to set up a 2-chain here. Poco looking to set up some coins here. Looking to set up a 2-chain. Can we get it? Can we get it? Ooh, looking a little crusty. Jay's got a heal set up, maybe? Yeah, going for the heal. Setting up another 2-chain. Needs to find a way to get into the right color at the end of this chain. Going to be set up for a bump spike into something, you know, of choice, basically. Or is going to go for a 2-chain that is going to set up the proper color to just grab right immediately on follow-up. Yeah, it's a little crusty, you know? Ooh, Poco in a huge life deficit with no coins on board to make comebacks happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen with Jay bombing out. Oh. Poco now, thanks to that bomb out on game point, on set point, on tournament point, Jay fighting for his goddamn life here. Getting some 2-chains, getting an early life lead, and set up for a healer right here. Yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna be a big life lead. Poco now has to find the answer, and the hammer is a good answer. Even things back up. Setting it up. Poco is pretty set up for success here. Another hammer that's gonna be huge. Gonna be huge. And now get some quick chains to get more coins on board. Get rid of the whites, which are not ideal. Hold on to the clubs, maybe? No, burn some of those clubs. Poco says, I've got extras, I don't care. Burn these heptagons. Puts Poco back in play to get a healer off of these. Oh, it's my mistake to get the hammer to seal the game. To seal the game, to seal the set, to seal the tournament. Poco is your flick around and find out champion. He flicked around and they found out. Oh, great games to both players. The whole tournament put up a lot of good matches, a lot of tense matches, a lot of very close matches. And that is it. Really, really good play all around from everyone in the tournament. Big thanks to everyone who entered the tournament. Big congrats to Poco for taking it. Congrats to Idolism J for taking second. Your concession prize, Jay, is that next time you're in Chicago, we can meet up and I'll get you a shot. Poco, I'll DM you for details to get the payment to you, and that is $25. Ooh, Blaster Nation, that is from Horncore, I believe it is Brad. Story mode writer for Flick Club. Here, thanks for the amazingly hyped tournament. It was hype as hell to watch. If you have any comments or suggestions for Flick Club, feel free to let them know and they will pass them along. Reminder, they've updated the game with Zeta's Super Lewd story mode. That is true. If you download the game on, you can find it on itch.io. If you go to horncore.itch.io, there's links to that, and as well as the game that Pink is a guest character from, Nudes. You can download the latest builds for both of those on there, and Flick Club just recently got updated with the story mode for Zeta. It's very good. Some very good lines in there. And some very good art in there. They'll be updating the game with story campaigns for each character. So if anyone's got suggestions or references that you want Blaster Nation to slip in, hit them up. Watching the tournament was definitely giving some writing material already. That's great to know, and thanks for stopping by. Yeah, no problem for running the tournament. I'll try to run more tournaments for this in the future. This went surprisingly well, so hopefully we can get things going. If we get some more players for it too, we can try and get more servers running so we can have the games going in parallel, get things going quickly. Idolism J is so goddamn tired. Yeah, I'd imagine after that many games in a row. Whew. Yeah, big congrats to everyone who entered, everyone who played. Big thanks. Definitely check the game out. You can just Google Flick Club and find it. I keep blanking on the URL, the way that itch formats URLs. You can follow Jepson's FGC at Twitter/Jepson'sFGC, whatever. You can follow me. I'm on Twitter. I'm at @_crimefighter. You can follow me here on Twitch. If I ever go live with more Flick Club, I do stream when I practice a lot. I'll maybe do some streams where I talk about chain theory and stuff. I don't know. You can look me up on YouTube. I've got some videos. I've got, I think, 2 videos on Flick Club. One about like the basics of the game and one about chaining. And I've got videos for a lot of fighting game stuff and whatnot. At Horncore Studios is the Twitter for Horncore. And you can go there to find updates on the game. I would put it up. These are graphics and not text, but that's Horncore Studios, all one word. I think that's the wrap for the stream. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Thanks everyone. I got like 10 new followers here. Thanks everyone who followed. Yeah, I'll let you know. You'll find out from me eventually if we got more tournament stuff coming. I believe I do. There's no date for it yet, but I'm looking to get something going for Chaos Code happening maybe in next month, and maybe we'll get something going for Flick Club next month, maybe sometime after that. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, trying to get more tournament stuff running for Flick Club, so stay tuned for a flick around and find out part 2. And you keep flicking around, maybe you'll find out.